go. We are live. We're live. What's that?
So
Going
much pressure.
live. So what was the name of this episode again?
Now that I'm recording, this episode was called, it was Creepshow 101B, The House of the Head.
House of the Head, right.
Theme song.
Theme song. We got the theme song. House of the Head.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You're tired of the anthology theme
So
song. You
sick
don't want
of
to
it.
play it no more.
All the time.
Make a
of
new
the
one.
head.
You're talented.
I just don't care. I just don't care. I hit a new wall with theme songs. I'm like,
Fine.
who gives a shit?
Don't
Play
worry
the old
about
one.
it.
It's not that bad.
Anyway, this is the theme
Or
song. The theme song. From the LIW Anthology Series Review, episode 45, Creepshow 101B, House of the Head. I am Phoenix West.
LIW theme song. Din, din. Oh, and Wilcox.
Hi,
Dick it.
Hello, Dick Burns. How are
Dick
you?
Burns. That's for the other episode.
That's my name. Actually,
Yeah.
all three of my names are for
All
that.
our names, yeah. I'll fix that. Hold on.
That's fine.
I'm the only asshole that decided to tie them both together.
It's
I
smart.
was going to,
Smart.
but I couldn't make it work.
I put
Yeah.
exactly this much thought in. However much this is, that's how much thought I put into it.
Yeah. I feel like, we'll talk about that later. Never mind. I was going to bring up Norman Reedus, but we'll save that for the next episode.
Curb
John
that for the
Carpenter,
next episode.
cigarette burn. Yeah, we watched the Creepshow. It was my turn to pick. We're doing a round where we get to pick wherever the fuck we want instead of the stupid, cursed spinning wheel thing. And I was staring at these shows for like days, and I'm like, I have no fucking idea. I was talking to Dick.
Just
and I was
ask me.
no, I wanted to watch something I've never seen and something I would like. And I was kind of thinking Alfred Hitchcock Presents, and I'm like, nah, we've done that. And I was trying to think of a show I'd never seen, so I figured this is kind of a good mix of both of those categories. Newer, I've never seen it, and I think I would like it. And then I was scrolling through the episodes trying to find a good one. There are some creepy sounding ones, like, and I chose the creepiest one because of the child.
Of course.
And it's weird that both of our episodes today have someone from The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
The little girl plays little Rick Grimes, baby Rick Grimes.
Is that who that is?
Yeah, she plays Judith.
Oh, wow. That's funny.
And the next one has Daryl, who should not be on The Walking Dead anymore because
He's been on the Walking Dead since the fucking beginning.
God damn, he's boring in that.
Oh, he is boring, you know.
I have some things about that too that we'll save for the next episode. I was going
But it is weird though that we're doing this is like our Walking Dead week. Walking Dead week. But I chose this. Just kind of, I didn't put a whole lot of thought into it. I didn't look up what it was really. All I saw was the little head, and I was like, okay, let's see what that is.
That works. Yeah, I thought it was fun. I
Yeah.
thought it was an enjoyable episode. I didn't hate it. I thought it was a lot of fun.
The thing about Creepshow is the fact that every episode is a two-part. I've never seen an episode of Creepshow where I just hated all of it. I'm enjoying this show. It's on its second season. I'm at the point now where I look forward to it when it comes on. I'm glad that it got a second season. I hope it gets a third season. Shudder is kind of like that little engine that could. Like everybody's rooting for it. Everybody wants it to do really good. AMC owns it, so
You got to stop doing cocaine over there, Dick.
I'm not. I'm stopping. I'm not doing it.
It's so distracting.
I know. I didn't mean to do that.
Yeah, you can tell AMC does it because Greg Nicotero is the executive producer, so he's.
Well, I'm kind of shocked that Creepshow's not on AMC or one of the.
you would
bigger
think that it
cable
would be
companies.
prime for that, but maybe it's because this show wants to be definitely geared towards the rated R hardcore horror audience, and there's only so much of that you can do on AMC.
And what does
versus Shudder?
Well, who owns Shudder? Does AMC own Shudder, or
AMC owns Shudder. I
Do
don't
they?
know how long
Okay,
they've owned it, but
okay.
the only reason I know that is because yesterday I was watching Creepshow, the newer one, and then I also watched the new episode of Joe Bob Briggs, and he went into one of his diatribes about how AMC is the big brother company of Shudder. Shudder is like the little loft in the corner, and fucking AMC is like the giant sky rise in downtown, whatever. You know what I mean?
Well, it makes sense because shit. Every Halloween for the last 25 years, AMC's been all about, the 31 days of Halloween. We have Michael Myers and Jason and all the creep shows and Walking Dead. It's always the horror stuff. So they've been doing it for a long time.
Yeah.
So good for them. They have their own little
but
Shudder.
this is a nice little show, and what I like about it is the fact that it does what we wanted from Tales from the Crypt, without resulting to without all the cheesy '90s aspect of it. You know what I mean? Like there's the Tales from the Crypt is almost so '90s that you can't fucking stand it anymore.
Well, I think that is the problem. It is '90s.
It's so dated. Like the stories don't hold up. The really bad puns. We might have thought it was cool when you remember I think it was like a couple weeks ago, Phoenix, when you were talking about you were watching Big Trouble in Little China and you just couldn't stand it because of that's how I feel with Tales from the Crypt. It's like when Crypt Keeper is doing his puns, I want to smack him. It's just not funny anymore. Three or four puns into the fucking first 5 minutes, and I'm like, stop it. Just stop.
The problem is they not only is it obviously dated because of the time period, but they also wrote it so it sounds super dated. Like this Creepshow episode is going to hold up because there's no dated dialogue.
Right.
There's
a creepy ghouly host just like the original movie. He looks a little bit more updated, but it's basically the same skeletal Grim Reaper looking skeletal guy with the long hair.
He looks worse. The animatronics are clearly worse because there's a rubber mask and he's drinking a soda in the beginning, and it's like a video game.
Yeah.
But the important thing is he says nothing. He just laughs, and they use like the little comic book cartoon balloons to set up the story, and then they just go right the fuck into it. I like that a lot. I appreciate that.
I don't want any fucking puns. Remember that episode that we watched? I can't remember what it was. It was early on, where it was a regular episode, but in the intro, the Crypt Keeper was in a rocket ship, and he's doing space puns, and we're like,
and it had nothing to do with the episode.
Yeah, right.
Not a damn thing.
Yeah.
Like
this does not do that, and I think this has better writing, like definitely smarter writing. The stories feel like they belong in one of these horror comics because I have actually purchased like Grimm's fairy tales and shit like that. They're like this. They have. It's probably my introduction to anthology. Probably why I like anthology movies. Those horror comics used to have a bunch of little short stories, which I thought was cool as shit. I like that. The fact that I didn't have to buy 15 comic books to figure out what's happening in one story.
Right.
You know, that was always cool to me.
I want to choose this show again, but we kind of have a rule. I'm gonna bring it up now, where we can't really choose an episode of a show that we watched. Any of us chose last time. So next time we come around, get a variety.
You're gonna have to break your one rule.
I'm creating rules.
Everything you know is chaos. I'm an agent of chaos.
But if it gives you any sense of hope, Phoenix, I can tell you, I've seen, like I said, I've seen every episode. I've never seen one that just made me feel like I wasted a bunch of time, or made me angry, or made me want to switch it off. I have not gotten that vibe from this show yet.
So it's the Babylon 5 of horror shows.
Well, not that good.
Okay.
But it's really good. It's one of this and Inside Number 9 are my favorite two newer anthology series running.
Absolutely.
Right now. So, yeah.
I might have to swap, do every other Creepshow or Inside Number 9. I don't know.
It's a good idea.
Because I want to watch these, but I can't keep picking them.
Yeah.
And I will say that they're more fun to watch if you watch an entire, like this. We just watched one story because that's how we do on this show. We do one story and just assume everything about it is what it is. But if you watch these in like, not necessarily, you don't necessarily have to watch them in order, but if you watch a whole episode from start to finish, it feels more like you're watching Creepshow the movie or reading the comic book. Like it's very committed to that. So.
Have you guys watched the Creepshow sequels?
Oh yeah,
I've only seen the second one.
Creepshow 2 is awful.
I want to know.
Yeah, it's not very good. I don't like
it.
Like
25 years off, then made 3.
Yeah, I didn't even know they made a third one. What's the third one?
I didn't bother with the third one because the second one was just a real letdown from the first one.
The second one's terrible.
First one's got the Ted Danson.
Yeah, the first one's fun.
Yeah,
like the first one's, I would say, classic.
I feel like the first Creepshow gives you more. The Creepshow movie gives you more than what you probably signed up for. Like, there's just an overwhelming amount. There's like what 5 stories in one movie.
Yeah,
That's like a new record. Most anthology movies that we see, it's usually like 3 stories or 2.
but the problem with that is it's written by a little guy named Stephen King.
Yeah. George Romero directed it, though.
George R. Romero, yeah, Romero directed it. Yeah.
Creepshow
But
82.
I like all the stories on the first Creepshow though. Creepshow 2, the stories are just not as good.
Well, Creepshow 2 is written by nobodies, I think.
I've seen the
No.
second one.
It
I gave it a
sucks.
4.
Yeah, it sucks.
But
They're being generous with that
3.
6.
2006.
Never saw
Oh.
that. Wow. Never even knew that existed, actually.
Anna Clavel. I don't even know who those people are.
I don't think they know
They're
who
so
they
made
are.
up. The guy's name is James Glenn Doodleson.
Yeah, his real name is probably Uwe Boll.
My name is Gudul-san.
He makes Skinamax movies. He produced the Day of the Dead sequel.
Oh, there you
Oh,
go.
there you go. That
Good
tells
for
you
him.
everything you need to know.
Good for him.
Oh no, he's executive producer on the show.
Oh, so you know what I watched the other day? Speaking of George Romero, I saw this. There's this guy online that goes to different horror places and records for his YouTube show. But he went to Tom Savini's school and had a really.
Cool.
It was a good episode. I forgot what it's called, but it was like an hour long video with Tom Savini taking you around his school for prosthetics, and then he took you into his home, so you got to see inside of his house, which is like a hoarder's nightmare of just pop culture.
Tom
masks and
Savini is a
horror.
weird dude, but boy, is he fun to listen to.
He's
Joe
fun, you
Bob
know.
yeah, he had him on as a guest, and also Tom Savini he's a star because I used to watch the Cooking Channel, right, or the Food Network. On Food Network, he's a judge on a program they got on there called Halloween Wars, which is like
wow.
an annual series, and they make these giant sculptures out of cake and pumpkin and candy, and he judges which one's the scariest, like who's going to win the challenge. So
Good for
they
him. He
usually
should
have
just
him
work.
on there, and they usually have Elvira as a judge too, and I never get tired of her either. So
I just
Nobody
saw a
did.
screenshot from the third Creepshow.
2006, and it looks
Wow.
like that.
It's like 1996.
It looks like Lifetime original lighting there. Yep,
Wow.
it's
Like
bad.
90s. Oh man,
I hate
that's
it already.
awful.
Yeah, it's bad.
Did he? Wow, look at that.
The fact that I don't know it exists tells me everything I need to know about it. But yeah,
Yeah.
Creepshow 2, I just could not get into. It
It's
did
got
not
a
have
different one.
it. You know what the problem with Creepshow 2 is? What made the first one so fun is it was definitely a throwback to like 50s, 60s horror. Creepshow 2 is just like a product made for its own audience in that time period. You know what I mean? It's just like a series of 90s miniature horror movies, and they're not
Yeah.
very good. Because most horror in the 90s was kind of you know?
Yeah.
But it's got George Kennedy. What more do you want?
Oh, the second one?
Yeah.
A good story.
Yeah, that was
I know that's a
awful.
lot to ask for, but that's what I want. Good story.
That's asking a lot from Hollywood.
It's got all the same
Not-
people: Stephen King, George Romero, Tom Savini's involved. It's just weird that it's
Not an episode about a cigar Indian that comes, a wooden cigar Indian that comes to life and kills
Yeah.
people.
To
That was
avenge
like-
George Kennedy.
that
we
goes
have-
on forever. It's the slowest dragging episode on there. And I'm like, oh, this is so dumb. I already know what's going to happen. Move on.
We had a wooden Indian in today's episode, which we should probably talk about.
I think that's a callback.
Yeah, only they're like, let's do it good. Let's barely have him in there. Okay, little girl. The girl that plays Judith on Walking Dead. She has a dollhouse, and she has a family in there of little dolls that she calls the Smiths. And it's like a mother, son, and a little kid, little boy. And that's really it. It's the whole setup. That's all you really need to know in the beginning. And the rest of it is just a little like ghoul head that moves around at its own free will. And it's a series of weird shit that happens when the dolls move around and they're kind of staring at it. And one time they have horror faces where they're shocked.
Yeah, which was we had a pretty good laugh from that.
Yeah. Let me pull up the episode and then we can kind of showed some of it.
Yeah, I think you have to have visual aids for this one because it was mostly a visual episode.
Right. You never actually see anything move in this episode. It's just you see it from the girl's point of view, and she'll walk away and talk to somebody, and then when she goes back to look at the house, things change. Like the scene changes every time. So
Yeah.
this is an episode you can make with about $5.
Yeah.
That's kind of what's cool about it too.
It looked cool.
Yeah.
The dollhouse was cool. The dollhouse is really
The dollhouse was incredible. It's the centerpiece of this episode. Everything is the dollhouse.
I want a wide shot of the dollhouse.
You're giving me Hereditary vibes.
Don't
Doesn't
be
work
giving
out so
those
well for that
hereditary
girl, though.
vibes, Moriarty.
Oh, that's movie's prime for a remake.
It just came out.
Kelly's Heroes?
Kelly's Heroes. I think we have a great remake.
Shit.
That would be
Maybe The Dirty Dozen, but not Kelly's Heroes.
No, Kelly's Heroes. It'd be funny.
Kelly's
Well,
Heroes is
humor.
a product of its generation, man.
Yeah, I
That
know,
movie's
I
not
like
aged well. I like it, but it's not
That's
aged
fun.
well.
It's
You know
fun.
what's funny though? You can get most of the cast back because they're all still alive.
Yeah, pretty much.
Most of them, yeah.
Donald Sutherland's still alive. Clint Eastwood's still alive.
Well, Don Rickles is dead.
Don Rickles
He's the
is
best
dead.
one in
Telly
there.
Savalas is dead.
Yeah.
So no, you're wrong. You can't get them. They're all
Yeah,
dead.
you can replace
They
Telly
both team back
Savalas.
up for Space Cowboys though. The two living guys.
Yeah, the two of them are still alive. Yeah, James Garner's gone.
Kelly's Heroes in Space.
He's going to show his ass somehow. Clint Eastwood's going to show his old man ass again.
Oh God.
I hate that. Every time I get a chance to show my ass in this movie, I'll do it.
Here's her room. I felt like I was just hanging out in a little girl's room watching her. So I was like waiting for an adult to come in to supervise. So I have to be alone.
Which is your typical weekend, right?
Oh yeah, we get to.
Is that like a regular thing for you, Phoenix? Like the chaperone
Supervised
has to come
visits.
in and keep an eye on you?
Only by my request. It's not like a court order thing anymore.
Yeah.
It's not lapsed.
Anymore.
I can't trust myself.
Yeah. Now I just want him there. Or her. I'd rather a
You just-
female be in there with me.
It's
You know
the
what?
voyeur angle, right? You just like it when he watches. Yeah.
Yeah, two middle-aged dudes hanging out in a little girl's room. No, I need a female to
Oy
supervise.
vey.
This room needs a little dusting, I think.
Oh God! All right, so this is her room. Dollhouse right here. You can only see so much of it. I was trying to find a wider shot, but I gave up. In a second here, they show the head again. Oh, how the fuck did it get back there?
Well, that's the beginning. There you go.
This is the head that fell around. It was on a table and it fell over. And really, it's really simple because the rest of the episode is just a series of her checking on the dollhouse from time to time when she gets back from school or before mommy daddy day or whatever the fuck it was. And then the family moves around the house and they're all like terrified in different positions or they're kind of like checking something out. And then the head is in a different location. But I did like that I didn't think the family was going to move around as much as they did, but she'll be like, check a room, come back over here, check this room, come back, and the family's like doing this. You know, that was kind of cool.
The dollhouse really is the actual set of this particular episode. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. But do you think there should be a sort of follow-up episode to this one where it's the point of view of the dolls in the house, so it's like a real family?
That's kind of what I thought they were going to do. I thought they were going to do something where they would show like she's in the dollhouse or something like that. I was trying to think in terms of like Twilight Zone, and I thought, oh no, this is Creepshow horror. This isn't like trying to challenge your mind. This is all about the spooky.
I think it'd be hilarious though if like the Indian shows up and it's just like how do you make the connection with the Indian showing up in your house to stop a this head demon?
She opens the door and the Indian's actually Chief Dan George from Outlaw Josie Wales.
Yeah. You know what we need is we need Seth Green to get involved to make a Robot Chicken version where it's just the dolls moving around and they're like, I'm the Indian chief. I'm here now. It's like awkward and they're moving around and they're clearly dolls and they just play it seriously.
Yeah, that'd be funny.
Because she goes to the doll shop and buys from the pedophile shop owner. She buys a policeman. And she brings it back, and then the policeman's look around the attic. It's really cool. I love this. And he has the gun, and he's in the attic.
Yeah, that was funny shit.
Her parents come in, and then they go, and then she comes back, and then the cop is just like his head is off his body.
Yeah.
It's all bloody and shit.
And then the dad has the gun pointing up the stairs into the attic.
Yeah.
Pretty funny.
The attic from Color Out of Space. The mom's a melting monster up there. But he's just sitting there with a gun, and then she goes back to the pedophile and gets an Indian chief.
She asked for a priest, which I thought was kind of smart. I'm like, holy shit, this little girl knows about like exorcisms and how to exorcise the demons. And then the pedophile shot clerk's like, oh wow, religion, that's dumb. Fuck you, kid. And
Well, there's a running theme with this where she does a prayer at dinner, and then her family laughs at her. And she brings up a priest or a rabbi to the pedophile, and he laughs. He's like, "There's no saving you, sweetie." Anyway.
So she sells the kid a shaman, basically.
Yeah.
And then she throws the Indian in there, and he's got a hatchet, and it's basically her just buying victims for this head. That's all that happens.
So she should have bought the doll from Trilogy of Terror.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fucking the what do you call the new me fertility doll? Yeah.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Oh, is this the Karen Black doll?
Yeah, the Karen Black doll. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
But at one point, she goes, "You're looking for the head, aren't you?" And she finds it, and I don't think she even found it then, but it's in the medicine cabinet, like in the mirror. But
yes,
there's no head outside of the mirror; it's just in the mirror, like a reflection. But
yeah, it's looking out like the Evil Dead cover, and we thought it looked like what's his name from Deadpool?
Yeah, Deadpool himself.
Deadpool, yeah.
The man himself.
Deadpool without the mask. Yeah.
The chief is downstairs looking out the window, and she goes, the house? And then she comes around to the outside, and his head and hand are gone.
It's so funny.
And it's clearly like a strawberry jam on the little toy. It's like this goop.
And she goes, no! The visuals in this are great because they're just so goofy. It's such a funny, such a funny, simple bit.
Well, they did themselves a favor by not showing the dolls move.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
She moves, and then she comes back, and then the dolls have moved. So it's all done off screen, which is a huge favor for it.
Well, yeah, it's supposed to, yeah.
If you watch them like claymation walk across the room.
Well, but why would you do an episode like that? It'd be awful. It'd be so goofy.
Here's the pedophile.
Was there a night gallery episode where there's a painting and somebody's walking towards a house and in the painting, and then eventually
I'm going to say yes.
Oh, here it is.
I think William Shatner was in it. Yeah, this is kind of like that, but obviously better.
Gee, I wonder how they did this shot.
They stuck it in the mirror. That's all.
Yeah. Oh, that's so funny. Look at this accurate total. It has that Midwest wooden seat.
Hey, it's funny.
Have you been to a hobby store recently? These things are that accurate. They're very down to the detail, man.
That's funny. I hate those wooden toilet seats too. Oh, awful.
Oh, the IKEA living room they have.
Yeah.
But okay, where's the? Okay, this is cool. She gets back and they all have their heads cocked up at the attic. She's like, "You're looking for it, aren't you? You're looking for it." Just sitting there on the fireplace.
Yeah, I thought this episode was fun. I think my only gripe is the first time she sees the head, she just touches it and goes, "Ew, gross," and then just fucking leaves it in there and walks away. Yeah. I would, if I was a little kid, the first thing I would have done was take that out and put it in like a garbage bag, either flush that fucker or wad it up and dump it. Of course, if she did that, there would be no episode. But
right,
that just seems like the logical part to me. And also, this one has kind of an anticlimactic ending, but that's just kind of something that is a little bit of trouble I have with horror in general. Is that most horror movies and TV shows, it's like, well, it's horror, and they get kind of lazy in the last act sometimes. They just kind of blow it off and say, well, we have to have a scary moment, or let's just wrap this shit up and be done with it because we're out of time.
Well, it
kind of feels like they ran out of time, so...
Well, they don't want you to think about it.
She just basically sells the house, and that's the end of it. And then she sells the house to somebody, and they're looking in on the house, and all of a sudden the head on one of the heads on the kid doll like turns around like real quick, and then that's the end of the episode.
I'm
Did you ever
queuing up
see-
a spot where, sorry, Dick, but
No.
I'm queuing up a spot where you get to really see that the characters move, but only off screen. Here's a good spot where she finds the Indian chief up in the bed,
Yeah.
and then she kind of looks somewhere else in a different, starts to flicker. She fixes it, and then the chief is just hanging out the window.
Yeah.
He's gone there.
When the chief was standing on the bed, I laughed. I thought that was great.
Yeah,
That was a good shot right there. Yeah, it was a smart move to have all of this through the eyes of the kid, because that kind of stuff can make horror so terrifying when you see it through the eyes of a kid.
it's clearly just like yelly. Love it.
God damn, Indian in the cupboard.
It looks gummy.
Yeah. We were joking about that when we were watching. It's like, hey, let's take Indie in the Cupboard and turn it into a horror. Wouldn't that be fun?
Why not?
It's a bold move. I mean, this was the first episode. You could call it the pilot of Creepshow, and this is what they went with. So
It is kind of funny that our favorite episode of this show so far, obviously we only watched one, but the favorite episode of the new Twilight Zone season was also a model town, kind of similar.
it was a good one.
That's right for the plucking for horror.
That one wasn't my favorite, but
Yeah,
my,
me
my,
either, but-
my favorite was the one the guy that kept changing bodies. That was my favorite out of that whole run. But
Same here, yeah.
yeah, but that would definitely be up there with one of the better ones for sure.
Then what she does next is she goes in and she goes, I gotta get this head out of here, and she grabs it and throws it across the room under her bed. She lays down and she's like, I should probably get that thing out of here, right? That makes sense. That's what a logical person. I mean, she's a kid, whatever, but she's like, yeah, I'm gonna get it out of here.
She's not dumb, yeah.
But she starts looking under her bed, and I saw the head just right immediately, because look at this. You can just see an ear. I was like,
But
what do you think?
that could easily be hiding as a stuffed animal. I mean,
Yeah,
she's got it's all stuffed animals under there.
Yeah, but it's clearly a head when you look at it.
Yeah,
And it's weird that she has that many stuffed animals under her bed, because that room has so much space in it. You could move a small family into her bedroom,
Yeah,
and there would still be enough room for all of those stuffed animals to sit around.
it's a bedroom with a centerpiece of the bedroom. This isn't the best shot, but it's just one I found.
Like, all three of us are like geeky enough that we collect things. We know how to conserve space. You know what I'm saying? We've been doing it.
we have
do it
no
all the
choice.
time. You have no choice. Yeah.
She even has a couple stuffed animals over here.
Yeah.
I mean, that bedroom is gigantic, man.
Oh yeah, I could put easily 5 posters on that wall.
I've never had a bedroom that big in my entire life.
There's a shot from the other angle, from the bed's perspective, and you can really see how much room there is. I'm trying to find it.
Oh wait, go back where the dolls that have that wide expression. Remember that? That was hilarious. That was another laugh out loud moment.
It's hard to find because you're not really gonna remember exactly when it happened, so it's just one thing after another. They're all kind of similar. Here it is. Found it. Okay, I just happened to stumble upon it.
Yeah, there you go.
That's got to be your Facebook profile picture. It's like that.
Yeah. Screenshot that and save it.
All right, here's a good shot of the bedroom where you can see it's a centerpiece. It's just like it's there, and then there's so much room around this thing.
Yeah, look at that shit. Well, then again, it is a fish. It's like a fisheye lens, probably, and makes it look wider than it is. It might be not so big after all. I don't know.
It's probably the angle. It's
Look
probably
at that closet. The closet's right there.
Yeah,
I love the window.
I like the fact that they don't ever bring it out, except for when she finds a head under the bed. But she resolves that by throwing a corpse head into the dollhouse again.
Yeah, she throws it back into the house, which is kind of a
Fuck
strange
you!
move. I'd have
I
thrown
love
out the
the fact
window, like, fuck you, get out of my house.
Except for that one quick moment. They don't bring the horror outside of the dollhouse. It's all located inside this dollhouse, and she just
That's
has
correct.
to watch it. And I like that. I like that they didn't do. You see what happens in there, or the same thing happens to the real family. Which I was kind of waiting for. I like the fact that it's just this isolated story in this enclosed area, and she's just like watching it. And it's
Well,
all the
I feel like
for-
that those were the rules that the episode created for itself. So it follows its own rules, and that's what a horror needs. You need to have a set of
I'm
rules.
glad you brought that up because that's where
Yeah.
so much horror drives me crazy. Is when
Right.
you just when you don't establish a universe. Like they said on Red Letter Media too. Like every horror movie has to have an established set of rules, and it has to follow its own rules. When you start tripping over your own plot lines and just changing things because you're getting lazy and it's a horror movie, so spooky, I'll just have some weird shit happen here. That's where all horror movies fall apart for me, is when they don't follow their own setup. This one's very well set up. At one point we even said, it's like what are you doing, and why is this happening? And the girl would say it like right after we said it. So it's like even they thought of they were thinking of the audience when they put this together.
I
Yeah,
still
good.
want her to come back with a little Zelda Rubinstein doll.
Yeah, that would have been beautiful. I would have loved that. That would have been great.
This house is clean.
Or she goes to Walmart and she picks up the exclusive Ghostbusters relaunch figures from the 80s, those new ones that just came out, and she puts them in the dollhouse.
But to set it up for you a little bit without spoiling anything, because I know at some point you're probably going to go through and watch this show, okay? Because you should. It's really good. All of the money for this particular episode was spent on the story before this one, with the effects and whatnot. So
I bet, yeah.
that's for the gore enthusiasts. Every episode, or every chapter, episode, week, or whatever, however they release these, has something for the hardcore horror fans in mind. Whether it be, Greg Nicotero's really keen on the gore, so they definitely, and it's all practical effects. Very little, if any at all, CG in these episodes whatsoever. So they do what they can with traditional old school practical effects, which is what Greg Nicotero prides himself on with this show. So that's why this is his baby.
I don't need the gore. I don't really care about gore. I want a well-told story.
Horror fans do.
It's actually, if it's the more simple it is, the better. In my kind of mind.
Yeah.
Like, this is super simple, and I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
You might. That's why you'll probably like this show then, because it manages to blend both. Actually, good stories, practical effects, and definitely like the fact that it holds the vibe of the whole horror comic book thing. Like, if you ever read those, you get all excited for the next episode, and they build that up, and then you go into the next episode. I like that. It's kind of like watching the middle act of the original movie. It's like there's 5 stories in the movie. These episodes managed to squeeze 2 stories into a 45-minute episode, which is pretty cool.
Well, it's kind of like our last two, this and the last 2 Inside Number 9s that we watched, never leave this location.
No.
This
And
one
I
goes
actually
outside, but that's it.
I did a little bit of research on that Inside Number 9 earlier today, because I was like, wow, these are like the 2 best anthology shows I've seen that are newer to what we're watching, and I wanted to know more about Inside Number 9. And yeah, that's not a remake of a show that's been made before. It started in 2014, like you said, and the 2 things that connect it together are the writers, which were the 2 writers are the guys that were the bumbling crooks from the last one that we watched, and the number 9 itself. And I guess there's also, I didn't notice this at first, but there's a brass horse or something like that's in every episode, like a statue, like some really ugly statue that they fit. Other than that, that's the only thing that connects any of these together. Each week, it's a completely different thing, and I like that. It's fun.
The Inside Number 9 that we did, that second one, was even more simple than this. They're in one location, and that I like that because
almost no dialogue. Yeah,
forces them to write creatively. How do we extend this scene without being stupid? And here's our rules: they can't talk. And this one, here's a rule: they can't move when she's looking at it. And it's got to stay in the dollhouse. There's our rules, and they work with it, and it fucking works. Both episodes very different. Both work.
I've seen this episode 3 times now, including the one that we just watched together, and you picked up on something that I didn't notice in the 3 times watching it. You said that the parents are just as lifeless and boring as the dolls that she has in the house. I'm pretty sure that was by design, but I never noticed that until you pointed it out, because I just figured that they were just ancillary characters to move the plot around. Obviously, this kid's not living by herself in a house,
Yeah.
so they just kind of get pushed off to the side. But the guy in the shop who's obviously has more character than
Yeah,
probably
and
as much character as the girl without actually having to say anything. He says, "You never quite know what they're working out, and they're not going to tell you. They're probably thinking working out that my parents are a couple of dorks, lifeless dorks with no personality whatsoever. So I'll just live out my ideal parents through the Smith's mists."
It became very obvious when they passed out on the couch and just like,
Yeah.
and I was like, that's just like the dolls in the bed, and when they're just
Yeah.
laying
And
there.
I thought they were going to go somewhere with that. Kind of surprised that they didn't, but you know, I wasn't totally disappointed. I wasn't super crazy about the ending, but I still enjoyed the episode.
I do get, even in the episodes I love, there's peaks where I start to kind of wander off my train of thought, where I'm like, oh no, and they introduced the shopkeeper guy, the dollhouse dude.
Yeah.
I was like, please don't let this be. He's cursing the family.
Yeah.
It all. No, don't go that route. I was waiting for it.
You don't want to see the
doing
tropes. Yeah.
Yes.
You want to stay away from the tropes.
They kept it as simple and streamlined as they can, and I appreciate that. Thank you. I don't add in a bunch of unnecessary shit just for the sake of surprising people. There's no surprise in this episode. There's no whoa. Other than
I haven't seen an episode of this version of Creepshow yet where anything I thought was over bloated or complicated. Like everything, you know,
simple.
Yeah, simple stories, fun to watch.
Method. Keep it simple, stupid.
Keep it simple, stupid.
Well, that's the most important thing for horror.
Well, especially a story like this. This is supposed to be based in reality. Like supernatural things are happening, but they're only inside this right here. They only exist in this little thing. It only happens outside because she takes something in this and throws it out on the floor, which is fine. It sticks within the rules. She puts it back in there, it vanishes, or it becomes a tiny little head again, as far as we know. So that works. The ending works. It didn't bother me. I thought it was a little lackluster, but I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I think that's what I was getting at. Was it is a little anticlimactic. Also, fucking Dick predicted it like halfway through the episode. I was thinking, oh fuck, he figured it out, and I didn't say anything because I'd seen it before. I'm like, well, that is what they're going to do. They're just going to sell the fucking house and call it a day. You know,
I gotta admit,
they sell it in a garage sale. That was the ending.
They just drop it off at some lady's house. There you go.
Yeah,
it looks like she
donated it. They
retirement.
Probably put it up on Craigslist, and that was how they got rid of it.
It makes you wonder, because I think if they took the head outside and it stayed in reality, it would do the same thing. It would eventually kill everyone.
Well, that's why I liked it when she was smart enough to put it back in the dollhouse. Yeah. It was like, I liked the fact that this little girl was like, you know what, this is probably a bad idea. I'm going to put you back in here. And that's that.
Yeah, she wasn't smart enough to flush the head in the first place, but she was smart enough to put it back in the dollhouse because that's where all the nasty shit happened. And so.
Well, how far into your pipes would it just go?
I don't know.
Blow your pipe apart.
She'd probably show up in the bathroom mirror. It's like, oh.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's really simple. I wish every episode we watched of every one of these shows would keep it this simple and not be dumb, because there are simple episodes we watched, like that Night Visions episode. That was simple, but it was so stupid that none of us cared.
I feel like all of us have become sort of experts on judging short stories, and what they do with the time that's allotted and how they tell a story. We've seen enough of them to know what we like and what we don't like. So
I've only done this several hundred times now.
Yeah.
A lot longer than the rest of us.
You're the only human being that's probably seen every single anthology show ever made.
But that's why I was excited that we were going to do this, because like I told you before, I love anthology movies and anthology shows, and Creepshow is no exception. It's giving me what I've been wanting for a while. If I was going to score the show so far, I'd give it a 10, but I think this episode's probably about an 8 for me.
I gave it an 8 as well.
Yeah, I would say 8. Yeah, I liked it. I liked it enough to give it an 8. I think it's.
I put it in my top tier bucket. It was the first episode to enter the top tier bucket, other than the Inside Number 9s.
Yes,
but I also put Tales from the Crypt top billing, the John Lovitz one.
Yeah,
and I put Breakdown, the original, and a couple. The one Outer Limits episode that we watched and liked, the Six Finger.
Yeah, that was a good one. Mm-hmm.
And a couple random episodes of Tales from the Crypt. Like Yellow is on there, obviously, but there's only...
Yellow was the best movie that didn't belong to a creep show. Yeah.
I have more episodes in the bottom tier, and then even more in the middle tier. So since you guys didn't have to watch it last week, Blood Ride, the one that Dick chose, I watched that episode. This is a good chance that obviously I'm not going to force you to watch it, but it did remind me of a lot of things. You know that Adam was it Wingard? What's his name?
Adam Wingard.
Yeah, that movie he did.
You're next.
No. I think he did that one. No,
he just recently did Kong versus Godzilla.
Yeah, but he did that. The guest.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Remember visually?
I've never seen it, but I heard of it.
Oh, I love the guest.
The guest is awesome. Check it out.
The guest is great.
You'll like it.
You'll fall in love with Dan Stevens.
Yeah. It's don't look into the movie at all. Just watch it.
Yeah,
it's not a horror movie at all.
The less you know about it, the better, because it surprises you the whole time.
But
well, that's what I like from a show, though. Something that doesn't make me bored. When you start predicting things,
the guest
start
is
happening, you just get bored. Yeah.
The guest is so much fun. It's so great.
Yeah, a fun movie more than anything.
Yeah, I love that movie. It was great.
But Blood Ride, it's a Norwegian show. The only reason I'm bringing it up now is because visually it reminded me of that movie. It reminded me of the guest. It has that neon lights everywhere, you know. I'm trying to find a good spot here. But it's basically two new office workers, and then they hear about one woman who tried to kill herself, and she's in a hospital, and they're trying to uncover this conspiracy within 20 minutes or 25 minutes. So it felt like the most
furry convention.
Fucking watch. Yeah, it's a furry thing.
Oh,
which is
wow.
Disgusting. Look at this. This reminds you of the guest, the party.
No, it reminds me of The Shining. Lovely party, isn't it?
It has the vibes of the guest, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, there's a Halloween party in the guest, and it's kind of like an 80s throwback stuff without being overly nostalgic 80s. It just kind of has like the music and the lights. And it kind of reminds me of this. But this is stupid. This is awful. It wasn't an awful episode, but parts of it I fucking hated. Basically, they're trying to uncover this conspiracy within 20 minutes, and I'm like, this feels like I'm starting an episode 7 of a limited series, so I don't give a shit. I don't know who these people are. It doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
And
what you're saying is when you try to cram too much into too short of a time to the point where you're checked out, you're tuned out. And done.
They're trying to figure out who the killer is, or because eventually someone shows up and blah blah blah. It's just I'm not even going into detail because it doesn't matter. But I was so bored. I did the commentary episode by myself. I barely spoke because I was so bored. Most of the comments were, "I'm so bored." That's the worst thing you could be is boring. I'd rather be mad.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've seen some ones where we're just angry, but boy, it makes for some great entertainment afterwards, right? Because we just start. It usually starts with Dick. He gets pissed off, and then he starts ranting, and then we start ranting, and then it just kind of goes from there.
Yeah.
I used to do a lot of solo episodes of stuff, and then when I was angry, I would just like fucking, and I wouldn't stop to take a breath. But this one, I'm just like, I don't know. And then some bitch goes upstairs, and I'm looking for. I don't know.
That was me when I saw Black Christmas 2019. I was recording onto my cell phone, and I had it attached to the windshield, and I was talking while I was driving home. And then I got so mad and started ranting that I missed my turn. So I did a fucking U-turn, and then the phone fell off of the fucking window, and it like stopped recording. So I'm like, fuck it, I'll record it when I get home. So I had to go home and rant about it all over again. So I ranted twice in one night about the same movie. That's how pissed off I was when I saw it. I was like, what did I just sit through?
It keeps popping up on my HBO Max. One of these days I might give it a watch.
I've never wanted to walk out of a movie so hard in my entire life. And I have actually walked out of movies. But I told myself, I'm like, if anybody's ever going to take me seriously as a movie critic, I have to sit through the worst of the worst. And I made myself sit through that.
Yeah.
And then I went from being angry to laughing at it hysterically by the last act. Because I'm like, they really are committed to this. Holy shit, I'm laughing.
It's just stupid.
It really is. It's fucking insultingly dumb. Nobody defends it either. That's what's fun about it. Nobody defends that movie.
Oh, I was looking up trivia for this, but there's not really that much. It's kind of
it's too new of a show.
Right. When you look at the reviews on this, most people focus on the first episode as opposed to this one because it's the second part of the. It's hard for me to describe this because it's like an episode is 2 stories. So This is part 2 of the first episode. Most people focus on the part 1, and the reason people focus more on the part 1 is the part 1 has the Chicken Man from Breaking Bad in it. So, and Adrian Barbeau. So all the star power and all the special effects went into part 1
The
versus
Chicken
part
Man?
2. Yeah, Giancarlo
Giancarlo
Esposito.
Esposito.
Yeah, I never pronounced his name properly. I didn't want to butcher it, so I just call him the Chicken Man.
He has a name that is so. it flows
Gus
so
Fring.
well.
Yeah, his name
I'll
is
sit
Gus.
there-
The
I'll sit
character's
there by
name is Gus
myself.
Fring.
I'll be by myself just repeating his name in my head. Giancarlo Esposito.
He's a great actor. He's a fucking wonderful character actor, and I get excited. He always commits 150% to everything. And that episode was no exception to the rule. It's like I said, Adrian Barbeau and Giancarlo Esposito is in that one. So more people focus their review on that more than this one.
I don't
It's kinda
give a shit
unfair.
about Adrian
Yeah.
Barbeau. I don't know. I just don't care. I don't get it.
Probably
Looks like
because she was in the
He's a
Creepshow
man,
movie.
baby.
It's a throwback thing.
So in the in the segment House of the Head, the carpet in the dining area of the Evie's dollhouse is the same as the carpet from the Overlook Hotel in The Shining.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
that orange pattern, you know.
Neat.
In the segment House of the Head, the ashtray on the table inside the dollhouse is the same one from the original Creepshow in the segment Father's Day.
Oh, it's my cake.
Let's see here.
Father's Day, and I want my cake. You know, we
Yeah.
never give our dad a cake on Father's Day, so
No,
fuck that episode. We're not breaking tradition.
I won't give him a call. Why would I give him a cake?
Wow.
We might give him a present and a card, but we don't do a cake.
Okay.
I'll talk to my dad.
In the House of the Head, the outside of the dollhouse is fashioned after Carrie White's house from Carrie.
Oh shit! That's why we were looking at it weird.
Yeah.
I'm pulling up images right now because I want to see that carpet. I
So
thought the
see what I
rug-
mean by this show being like a total love letter to horror fans? It's like you pick up on things, little nods and references. And I want to tell you, I'm really excited because I want to tell you about a lot of the other references from the other shows, but I don't want to spoil them for you. So
Yeah, I want to watch this show some more. I kind of dig it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm into it. I kind of want to get Shudder just for this reason.
I would honestly Shudder for $6 a month. You get so much content. It's not even funny. You get the Joe Bob show. You get the Creepshow. You got a good selection of movies with commentary sometimes. Yeah, it's great.
Do you guys want to do an every other for Inside Number 9 and Creepshow?
Yeah. Why not? That'd be great.
Sure.
Yeah, I want to watch these and I want to watch that.
Yeah. Fuck the ball. Fuck the ball spinner.
Fuck the ball. You guys will be looking forward to this shit because I'm looking forward to Inside Number 9. I've seen all the creep shows, but I don't mind watching them again because they're fun to talk about.
Yeah. I'm looking up what carpet was it? Evie's dining area. Yeah, it's this one. Okay. It's really small. It's kind of hard to see. But here it is. I mean, it's like a one section of the pattern.
Yeah, I see. I wouldn't have noticed that if you hadn't have said something because it's like if you blink, you miss it. You're focused on the figures, not the carpet.
Yeah.
But the outside of it, I did kind of notice something was going on. I was like, well, never mind.
I mean, it probably would have been a little too on the nose if they'd have designed it after the Amityville house.
I like the subtle references. You got to keep that shit. I'll stop sharing the screen so we don't get taken down. But
But yeah, this show's full of subtle references.
in my next, like when I buy a house and I have a real official office, I'm gonna get some shiny carpet in here because I fucking love that movie and the carpet's awesome.
I bet you it costs you about $5,000 a square foot though.
Nah.
When you're
It's like a
watching the
specialty
show,
carpet.
when they pan over the comic book panels and in between the stories, they have like the little ads and stuff like that. Pay attention to those too because some of those ads are ads from original comic books, and also some of those ads are from things that have been in previous versions of Creepshow. So it makes it even
Carrie's
more fun.
house.
They needed the little closet with the neon Jesus inside of it.
Yeah. Your dirty pillows.
I can see your dirty pillows.
Your breasts, mama. Sissy Spaceback is so gross. Sissy
The two of them were
Spacek.
fucking wonderful in that
Oh,
movie.
absolutely,
Holy
yeah.
shit, that
She
was
is.
good.
She was like 40 years old though when she was playing that part.
Yeah, she came
That's what
out of
cracks me
retirement
up.
to do that. Yeah.
No, I'm talking about Sissy Spacek.
Oh, Sissy Spacek being a teenager?
Yeah, being a teenager. She's like in her late 30s. It's
She's
hilarious.
She's really good. Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's
go ahead,
it.
dude.
I was gonna say, Sissy Spacek is really good in the Stephen King base. Not he didn't write it, but the
Castle Rock. Yeah, I want to see that show.
really
That's a
good.
show I want to watch. Yeah.
You know what I was going to buy on Blu-ray? Should have done it. They had Castle Rock season 1 and The Outsider season 1 on one gift set. I should have bought it because those are two. The Outsider's a great show, and
Outsider.
It's the show Stephen King show on HBO with Ben Mendelsohn. It's fucking great.
I do have HBO Max. So I
Yeah,
can
watch
check
out.
that out.
Watch The Outsider.
What
it's great.
what channel is the
Oh,
Castle Rock on? What's that? on?
Hulu.
Oh, I have that too.
I
I have
think
to
it's on
watch both of
Hulu.
those.
Yeah, Castle Rock. But it only did 2 seasons.
Because
And
I
that was
got to
it.
confess, I watch so much old shit that it's refreshing to watch something new once in a while and
Yeah.
actually like it. It's rare because a lot of new stuff just kind of it starts off really strong and then just kind of peters out after a while.
Oh yeah.
But when you're watching something and you're like really into it, especially anthology stuff, oh man, it's fun. I look forward to those things.
Huh. I haven't. Oh my god, Patty Considine is in Outsider. I'm gonna watch it now.
Yo, no, yeah, Pat Constantine's great.
He's great. I love
He's
that guy.
great. He plays the hick. He's wonderful.
Clearly, I love Patty.
Yeah, Pat Constantine's great. Yeah.
In this one,
You have a mustache. I know.
I love what he does though.
Yeah.
He's back in the frame.
No, Outsider's great. Outsider's a good show. Yeah, you'll like it. I think it's my favorite. I blew through them like in 2 days.
Okay.
Is
now
it
I
just
wanna
me or is Phoenix's camera coming in really laggy tonight?
It's laggy. It's
It's
been
laggy,
laggy.
okay.
Because
It looked
I'm,
like a slideshow.
I'm uploading
Oh, okay.
Free Movie Battle on this computer.
Gotcha.
So my
That
upload
would
speed
explain it.
Shot the shit. So sorry.
Yeah.
It's at
Wait.
47% after several hours.
You know what you remind me of? You reminded me of watching that episode where we're like watching the dolls move and then like they show away and that's what you look like. You look.
Now you're unfriended. You're gonna get killed with a
Unfriended. God.
killed with a blender.
I saw that in the theater.
Oh, you would see something like that in the theater. Says the guy who saw Black Christmas 2019.
Exactly.
Hey,
Shit, I saw
I
The
laughed
Turning
at
in a theater.
I
Oh,
watched the Turning on HBO and I was like, this is so fucking boring.
yeah, you
How do you
watched it.
Guys,
Yeah,
I
for
saw so many bad movies in 2020 before the pandemic hit. I saw The Turning, Doolittle, The Grudge, the remake of The Grudge.
Yeah, oh god, terrible.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
That
So
Grudge
bad.
remake-
All of those were so bad. Yeah.
The Grudge remake is never not on HBO. It's always on one of the channels.
That's the thing about HBO; they'll show the.
You know
same
what pisses
movie.
me off
Yeah.
about that Grudge remake is like any one of those ideas that they came up with in that movie could have been great if they would have fleshed out any one of them, but they didn't. They just had like a bunch of basic ideas that they did nothing with. It's not, to me it feels like you took a season of a TV show and squeezed it down to a 2-hour movie and then just
Not
said,
even
"Here
hour
it is."
35.
Yeah, not even an hour 35. It was so
Yeah.
bad. In fact, when I saw that in the theater at the end, there was people in front of me and they got up and they did this. What the fuck? They just stood up and said, "What the fuck?" They didn't even hold back on that one, man.
And I thought that because I had this. You're right. It's everything condensed down. And you're like, I watched a couple things. Okay, to start off, I watched the new Grudge TV show on Netflix, and I was like, this is.
Oh, there is actually a TV show. Okay,
It is unwatchable.
Yeah.
I was like,
worse
I
than
have
the movie.
no
Wow.
idea where we are, when we are, why we are.
I like that Sarah Michelle Gellar movie, man. I do. I like that one. But
I thought that one was way more streamlined, but then
Yeah.
I went back after I watched the Grudge remake and the TV show, and I went back and started watching the first 3 movies. They're all like that. They're all scattered and back and forth in time. I was like, I don't remember this being back and forth, but you have like Bill Pullman in the first one. His
yeah, I
flashback.
remember Bill Pullman in the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like it is the same way where it's back and forth. The second one is the same way, and it's got like the
That's
girl.
weird. I haven't watched it in a while. Maybe if I watch it now, I probably won't be able to tolerate it. Yeah.
And the third one has that stupid surprise ending.
I just remember always liking The Grudge more than The Ring.
It's a lot better. It's
Personal
stupid.
tastes.
It's stupider,
Yeah.
but it's a lot
They're all stupid, yeah.
Because then I went back and watched the Ring as well.
Well, it can't go. That goes back to the rules thing, because the Grudge has no rules. That thing,
neither does The Ring.
It is so bad.
The Ring tries to have rules, but then by the third act, they're like, fuck, it's a horror show. Just end this shit. Just do whatever.
Well, don't ever watch Rings. That's the worst movie ever made.
Oh, I saw it.
That was so bad. Oh my god!
I saw Ring 2 in the theater, and then I saw Rings.
I saw Ring 1, Ring 2 in the theater. Yeah, I remember doing that.
At least the first Grudge movie, the American one, has rules, and they follow it. And then it gets to the second one, and it follows the girl to a house and seeps in through the walls and makes the neighbors crazy. And I'm like, now we don't have any rules. All the rules are out the fucking window.
You know what's weird, guys, is we live in a time now where there's so much good horror out there that's like brand new that like nobody hears about, and you watch, you're like, oh, this is really good shit. Like It Follows is a perfect example.
Yeah,
that's a fucking great movie. I love that movie. I'm like, I did not expect that movie to be that good, and that's something that came out relatively recently. You know what I mean? So when you see stuff that's like really bad, you like notice it right away, because it's like your expectations have elevated. You live in a world where there's like all these really generic bad prequels and sequels to everything coming out, and bad remakes. Horror can be pretty good with a decent, with a really low budget, as long as it's got good writing and, like you said, established rules. That's the stuff that we live for.
Do you want to see what the rating is for IMDb for It Follows? You guys want to take a guess?
7.4.
Adam?
7.0.
And then what's your rating for it?
My rating for it would be about a 9.2.
Dick?
I'd probably give it an 8.5.
I give it a 10. I fucking love that movie.
That's a great movie.
Love it. But, so you see my 10, and then 6.8.
Wow.
You know why? Because it doesn't have the spooky. It's too intelligent for people.
Don't take my spooky away from me.
That movie is not only terrifying, it also has allegories in it that work. That absolutely fucking work. They're paid off, and they're set up and paid off properly. Whatever.
I think it's creepier when the guy's just standing there staring at her, and she's and that's it. That's
a lot of good Carpenter stares in that one.
I think that's creepier than like
right, like especially when jump scares have been done to death. Honestly, it's like the creepy stare from a distance is more frightening to me than booga 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 booga.
Yeah, or every Paranormal Activity. Yeah. At the very end.
Or let's take out a few frames of a fucking shot so we can do that jerky thing that they did from The Ring and Grudge and everything else.
Oh, that started with 13 Ghosts.
Oh.
No, that was I would say Jacob's Ladder was the first to do that.
Oh, really?
I think so. But it was you
that
wisely.
It wasn't the start of the trend, is what I'm saying.
No, it's been around, but I think
it became a trope. It's kind of like when Matrix did bullet time, then fucking everybody was copying it for like a decade.
Oh God, yeah, I hate that era.
It makes you where you can't watch anything that came out after Matrix, like for like the first 5 years of the 2000s. It's like, nope, can't watch that. It's going to be full of bullet time.
I feel like the aughts, the 2000s to 2010, some of the worst movies ever made in that period. Like, honestly,
really bad
nothing great has come out of Hollywood in the last 20 years. It's going to be a
really short list. It's going to be Donnie Darko and then everything else.
I think it's amazing that you can watch a movie from 2000 and it looks like you made it last week, but you watch a movie from 2005 and it looks like it's from 1992.
Yeah, it's weird.
So fucking weird.
Yeah.
It's like they regressed for a little while. Yeah,
we had like 3 years there in the early aughts where it was really fucking dated, like super specific on the music, and
everything was super trendy. Yeah, everything had a lot of that like fucking techno metal shit. Like it was either new metal or techno or both.
Anyway, House of the Head, solid episode, gave it an 8. Really enjoy it, and I'm looking forward to future episodes, which we will switch out with Inside Number 9.
Sounds good.
Yeah, man.
Speaking of which-
Creepshow's a real deal. I'll stand behind it. I'm excited about it. I'm looking forward to new episodes from the new season. I'm looking forward to reviewing it with you guys too, because these are going to be fun as hell to talk about.
I will say I did you a favor because when we found out we couldn't do Blood Ride, you were pitching for a Creepshow episode, and I was like, no,
wasn't I? Yeah.
we'll do it for Inside Number 9, and then I'll pick an episode. And I was like, you know what? I'll give Adam a favor here. I'll pick a Creepshow episode. We can do.
I appreciate it, but you know what? You didn't disappoint me though, because Inside Number 9 is my other favorite newer show that's on.
Yeah. They're so vastly different, but they're all you need is quality. And
they're advertised as a black comedy, and we love that kind of stuff. The three of us, we love those kind of stories.
Clearly,
so
British comedy too. I fucking love it.
British dark comedy is the top of it, as good as it gets. Seriously,
I love it because they usually make fun of the project that they're doing within the project, which is
a very close second. Australian black comedy is pretty fucking good too. I've seen some good stuff come out of Australia, and don't sleep on New Zealand. New Zealand has made some fucking clever ass fucking movies.
Damn, What We Do in the Shadows is so fucking fun.
What We Do in the Shadows is wonderful, and Housebound is another one of my favorites.
Oh yeah, Housebound's good too. Yeah,
Housebound's a great time.
Proposition is great.
Yeah,
that's Australian, but
the Babadook.
Babadook's good.
Do you like Babadook?
Yeah, there's a lot of great movies down there, and also what's the one with Robert Pattinson, the Australian one?
Good Times.
The Rover. That's a good one.
Oh, the Rover's good.
Rover's good.
Rover's very good. Yes.
Rover and The Proposition, I fucking love. I want to watch them again.
Yeah, good movies.
But Proposition, he jumps out of a dead horse and surprises the character. It's so fucking funny. God, watch The Proposition. Anyway, so let me go over into the next few weeks of the show because we do have a lot going on. So obviously we finished up Creepshow. So next week we're doing Adam's pick for whatever the fuck he wants to watch. He chose Friday the 13th, the series, 112, Faith Healer.
Directed by David Cronenberg.
Ooh.
Oh, nice. Okay. And one of the few Cronenberg things I will have watched. Okay.
Yeah.
I've seen 3 of his movies, I think. That's it.
I've seen a lot.
Let me guess. Videodrome, The Fly, and something else.
I saw The Fly. I saw the 2 movies he did with Viggo Mortensen. So
that's right. Yeah, we were talking about that last week. Yeah.
And then I watched Map to the Stars, and it's fucking awful.
Ooh, no, that sucks.
Never even heard of that one.
So bad.
No, I've seen The Fly, Videodrome, Scanners.
Videodrome is one of those ones that gets really high praise. It does nothing for me. I want to like it. It's one of those. It's just I don't get it. I'm like trying. Maybe I'm trying too hard to get it.
I like James Wood's performance in it.
I do too.
And the gore effects, and that's about it. Everything else is mid, whatever. But which one?
Do you see his dong in Videodrome?
No, I don't think you do. You do see his vagina.
Yeah, he has a vagina and he fucks it with a gun. That's
he has a
cool.
VCR vagina.
He has a VCR vagina on his belly and he fucks it with a gun. That's pretty fucked up.
I have no interest in Cronenberg outside of his 2 movies that have nothing to do with this weird sci-fi bullshit.
Well, he does a pretty good job. He does a pretty good job with the Friday the 13th episode.
Michael Ironside said it best because he said in an interview somewhere, he goes, I worked with David Cronenberg on Scanners. And so I wanted to talk to him one day. And so he goes, I noticed that the crew would never talk to David. And I was like, well, that's kind of odd. So he goes, I kind of want to see what's going on here. Why did they not ignore him? And so he went over to talk to David Cronenberg. He goes, I had a dream last night that my wife ate me alive as a grasshopper. And Michael Ironside was like turned around and left.
Yeah.
Oh, funny shit.
Funny you said Michael Ironside. For some reason, I watched Starship Troopers a couple of days ago. I wanted to test out a new set of headphones I got from my Xbox, and I put on Starship Troopers because I had 7.1 surround Atmos, and I forgot how good he is in that fucking movie. He absolutely steals that fucking movie from everybody.
Yeah, he's great.
The man cannot.
Michael Ironside's a badass.
He cannot keep both his hands throughout a movie,
especially a Paul Verhoeven movie
or Machinist.
That's true. Yeah, Machinist is in too. Yeah, shit.
That's all the time.
I forgot he was in that. He was in V. I got the V the miniseries on DVD.
Okay.
I fucking love that.
Let me finish up the schedule. Week after that, on May 5th, we're doing Amazing Stories. It's our Dick Pick Week. 116. Gather Ye Acorns. Gather Ye Acorns.
I'm excited for that one.
After that, on 5/19, we're taking a week off because I will be in Hawaii.
Ooh.
chose
Ooh,
funeral.
I'm jealous. Yeah. Oh, I'm
Um,
sorry. God, I feel like an asshole now.
Yeah, it
He
sounds
says Hawaii, and I'm like, oh, cool. And it's like, oh, shit.
my first time going there has to be for a fucking funeral because their dad
That
passed
sucks,
away.
dude. I'm sorry.
But anyway, I chose an Inside Number 9 episode, and then I realized I don't have this episode, and I can't find it anywhere. And I finally located it after days of searching. Do not look up any information on this. I implore you. I
Tells you
unfortunately
everything.
did, and I regret it. But I also am curious as hell about it because it's really meta. It was a live episode. It's episode 500, season 5. It's not part of the official show, so it's like before. You know how they do that thing where it's like a between seasons.
Yeah.
So it's episode 500. It's called Deadline.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to watching it. Please do not look up any information on it.
Nope.
Week after that, we'll go back to me on the bingo hopper. Unfortunately,
You son of a bitch.
The bingo hopper's evil. But I can't say that about Creepshow because you pick so many episodes with that bingo hopper. No one show can have that many bad episodes and get a passing grade. That's just all there is to it.
The bingo hopper sucked, but also it found us Inside Number 9. So,
It's true.
Yep.
You know,
That one hasn't let us down yet. We're very enthusiastic about that one.
It's so good. It made all those terrible episodes we watched worth it.
It really did. It's like the wait was worth it.
It's Inside Number 9 was so good that I changed the way we're doing the show. The how we're choosing. That's how good it was. And I'm like, I gotta watch more of this.
Gives you something to look forward to. Yeah.
I wanted to sit down and watch them all, but I don't want to because I want to watch them fresh with you guys. So
you got to admit it's a little more exciting than suspense.
Oh God.
Suspense.
Yeah. Can't do it. But I do have like a short list of Inside Number 9 episodes to watch, and I put a thing on Twitter asking what people want us to watch. Kind of waiting to hear back on that.
Alcoa Dinner Theater. Din, din, din.
Alcoa Goodyear Theater. Anyway, that fucking show's awful. Just awful. So let's get out of here, guys.
Femme Fatales, that show's awful too.
Yeah, but at least that was entertainingly bad.
Although, to be fair, we've only watched one, so I can't judge a whole show based on one episode.
I think that's how every show is going to be.
It's not a good introduction.
I have a feeling that was probably one of the better ones.
Oof.
Yeah, I do want to watch that one I found called Bad Science because she travels to an alternate reality or something.
God.
But I don't want to pay for it, so I'm never going to watch it unless we draw it. But anyway, guys, LIWstudios.com for me, LIW Anthology Pod on Twitter, LIWTZ Review for our Twilight Zone show at Phoenix West at LIW Studios. Adam?
RaidersLostFlix.com for me. If it's a bad movie, we want to know about it. We like telling you about it. I like it when you tell me about bad movies. Hit me up on Twitter, Raiders_OTLF.
Dick wants to pitch the LIW John Carpenter Review. A great podcast.
It's a good show. It's up next.
Yeah, we'll be talking about cigarette burns.
Norman Reedus burns.
I think I just shot my load there by telling you what I picked for next week.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry. But cigarette burns is next on the live stream on the podcast. It's a whole different podcast. Go check out LIW John Carpenter Review. Until next time. In the meantime, I'm Phoenix West.
Adam Wilcox.
Dick.
So long, citizens. So long, guys. So long, Creepshow. I appreciate you. You are appreciated.
I appreciate you.
The show has a 7.1 on IMDb.
That's not bad.
Pretty good.
Pretty good. Yep.
Ending podcast now. All right. Let's take a 5-minute break. Go pie.
I also feel like the 7.1 is because there's just no way to make horror fans happy. They are a fickle bunch.
No, they're awful. Fanboys
they are
in
a
general
fickle bunch. And I agree. I kind of wish Creepshow was on AMC. But it's a Shudder series. I still think Shudder's a bargain. You get a lot for that $6 a month.
Yeah, I might have to, because I like Joe Bob and I miss him, and I kind of want to watch that too. So, might have to.
The Joe Bob alone is worth it.
Yeah.
You know what's funny about the horror fans being a fickle bunch is they like fucking everything at the same time.
Yeah.
And if it's older than 20 years, they fucking love it. And I'm like, it's awful. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Half the
Dude, they
Jason
fucking
movies
will
are awful.
bark at you all day about Lucio Fulci and fucking Marva Braga and fucking
Mario Braga.
all the Italian horror directors, and all of those movies, at least for me, are exactly the same.
They are.
They're really bad. I just
Did you ever
don't like
see?
Dario Argento. Like everybody just goes on and on about Suspiria. I've never been so bored in my entire life watching
It's
Suspiria.
visually great.
Beautiful,
Movie,
but trying to get into it, you just can't. There's just nothing there. It's like, okay, I get it. You like to jerk off with a camera. Next, you know.
His like last 5 movies are so. He did like Dracula. I forget what the fuck it's called. It's what the fuck is the name of it? They're unwatchable.
Like
Dracula
when it comes
AD?
when it comes to Italian directors, there's Sergio Leone and everybody else I could give a shit about. Honestly, I just don't care.
Yeah, that's about it.
You know, when I'm talking about like Italian horror, I'm not talking about like, you know, Martin Scorsese or something like that. I'm just mean like the Argento stuff is wasted on me, man. It's like you don't need to be pretentious with a horror movie. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
I did a thing about Italian horror movie or it's Italian movies, and I've yet to hear any response back because I don't know if you watched that, Adam. I was saying that every Italian movie is the same. Where you're like watching these random characters having random scenes, and then there's kind of like, all right, who else we got in the shot? Oh, they'll be on main characters for 20 minutes, and then just follow like, oh, these people. And you're like, who the
dude,
fuck
you
are
really
these
need to
people?
watch the latest Joe Bob episode because he had Eli Roth on there, and despite how you feel about Eli Roth, that guy is really fun to listen to. He loves Italian cinema, but he also makes fun of it, like it to no avail. And one of the things he said that was really funny is he says, "Well, I can get why people don't like Italian horror movies because they're always really badly dubbed, and they always have the same voice actor for every cop in every Italian horror movie. It's always that guy that talks like this, you know."
The woman sounds like
And
this.
Mel Blanc, and you know, you always recognize. It's like every movie you watch, you recognize the voices, and they never use a kid. They always have a woman try to sound like a kid, even if it's a boy. So it's weird.
Mama,
Anyways, break
mama.
time. Mama, mama. It's the worst part of Fistful of Dollars. It just goes on for like 20 minutes. Mama.
It kept him in that burning building. All right, I'll be back. Hello.
Hello.
Hola. ¿Cómo estás? Uh-oh. Porn time. Dun, dun,
Yes.
dun, 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 dun.
Better late than never.
Oh, do it.
There you go.
It's Nikki time.
It's Norman Reedus time.
Done.
Yes. Oh shit! I forgot. Good call. Good call. Good call. Good call.
What?
There we go.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, wow. Is that just the screenshot of an image search?
Wow.
No, actually, I that's actually a wallpaper.
Wow.
Pretty cool, isn't it? I had a couple of different images I pulled up, and this was the only one that worked out with my big fat head in the way.
Well, are you guys ready to start the podcast?
I think we do that.
Only if Dick turns his camera on.
Hold on.
I want to make sure he's not separating the stems from the seeds.
I think it's some carrot cake.
Oh, okay. After you stuff your face. See, yeah, that's
Not
what gets me
much.
excited right there.
Not much.
That's hot. Yeah.
Little piece there.
Can't wait to see what he does with some
we're in the
sushi.
podcast. Dick's eating
That's
some carrot cake.
Tomorrow night.
Ooh,
Theme song, guys.
you threaten me with a good time.
Burn me, cigarette burn
that.
me,
John Carpenter.
cigarette burn me.
Cigarette Burns, 2005.
I am the one, burn my ass with a cigarette gun.
When I die, I want to be high. Never worry, just bury me with my
Oh
currency.
my
Along with my
God.
current feet. There's my girlfriend. Along with my current feet.
Current feet.
Yeah, she wrote current feet, and then I got like a whole diatribe of like, are you worried they're going to replace your feet when you die? And I became obsessed with that idea because it's hilarious to me.
It is. It's pretty funny.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Best thing that came out of that whole run of Twilight Zone was that theme song.
It's this.
Yep.
Traveling to another dimension. When I die, I want to be. Never worry, just bury me. Along with my currency.
All right, that's it.
Okay, here's what you do for the anthology episode. Next time you hear a really stupid song in one of the shows that we watch, you just loop that and put some talking over top of it so you don't get a copyright strike.
Okay.
There's your theme song. Boom.
Should I
Done.
just do suspense?
You should put that in there just as a joke. Just all the
John
dumb
Carpenter.
stuff that we've seen.
John Carpenter suspense.
Problem is, it has to be a John Carpenter song. That's terrible.
Well, I mean for the anthology, but for this one, we don't need a theme. John Carpenter never needs a theme song. I think we've all
No,
agreed
his
on
son
that.
did the score for this one.
I was
I
gonna
know.
say,
I thought that
yeah.
was strange because it's like, oh, here's the Carpenter music, and then it says, right as it kicks in, it says music by Cody Carpenter. I'm like,
Yeah.
tease, you
You did a good
tease.
job. You did a good job.
Yeah.
Well,
He's
I think
clearly
it's
his
funny
father's
because him and his son they don't do movies anymore. They tour and play music, and that's all they do is play Carpenter themes together. I think his son plays guitar. Carpenter obviously plays keyboards. I've showed you guys some clips of it. It's fun shit. That's what they do.
You know what I
Yeah.
never thought to do in my life is go see John Carpenter.
I
would love
hear
to.
it's great. I hear it's a great
Yeah,
show.
I mean, I've got the record. They re-recorded all of his old theme songs, and they sound
Now,
amazing.
Bad news. On tour, no. Upcoming 2021, none.
Well, it's,
Welcome to post-pandemic world.
Yeah,
He's in
it's
his
not
70s. He can't tour.
well, if I gave him a carton of cigarettes, he'd show up.
he just does it for cigarette money.
I'll do it. Where
I
you
love
want us
the
to
fact
go?
That I have two shows that I do, and both of them are notorious cigarette hounds.
Yes, right. Yeah, good point.
Carpenter. Just
Did you see what I put on Twitter to advertise this show? I says
No.
tonight we watch Creepshow, and then we also watch John Carpenter's Cigarette Burns, and we're not talking about the ones on John Carpenter's office rug.
like I said, I wanted this show to just be a close up of his couch for 20 minutes. To see where he dropped
It's
where
all
Scary
the
fell off.
burns in his house, just like a slow pan ram, like pan and sketch.
Well, to me, this feels like angry John Carpenter. This episode of Masters of Horror. He's
Honestly,
angry.
If I was to do my first impression, this is The Ring if it was told by pretentious film snobs, and that's kind of what I like about it. I like that angle.
It was I agree, Dick. I agree with both of you actually, because it is a little film school and is a little angry as well. But
It's very film school.
I don't think he likes film snobs.
I feel
No.
like Jansen's here. Why is Jansen here?
Oh my
Jansen Carlin.
God!
Yes.
Hi.
Did you have a cigarette too?
No, I just want. Shut up.
He came in here just to tell us to shut up.
I just wanted to come in and tell you to stop tweeting out, telling me what to do. Okay. The answer is no. I'm not giving you ideas. Figure it out.
Well, there goes that idea.
Would somebody like to fill me in as to what's going on here? I feel like I missed something.
I will. Jansen, please do me a favor. Watch one episode of an anthology show for us because we finally found some really good stuff.
Yeah.
Here's the problem. Here's the problem with that statement. You're a liar, and I hate
Please watch. It's not on anything anymore, is it? Fuck, they took it off Netflix.
What was it?
I will send you an episode. We'll watch it together. Fuck, I don't care. It's a show called Inside Number 9. We watched the second
Oh,
episode.
yeah. You would like this.
So look up Inside Number 9.
Yeah.
It's the second episode called A Quiet Night In. We watched it, and
Especially
we're laughing
that one. Yeah.
so fucking hard the whole way through.
You're hard? That's scary.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you heard every other word, then yes, that's probably what I said.
Why does this look British as all hell?
It's British as all hell.
It is British, but it's great. It's British dark humor. It's fucking wonderful.
And it'll make you hard.
Yep.
Yikes. Okay. All right.
He's eating carrot cakes. He's off camera.
Let me see.
No, I'm done with it. It's done. It's off.
You forgot to show us you rubbing the carrot cake all over your tits. I was really holding out for that. You know.
Oh, yeah, that's for my Patron channel.
That's for your OnlyFans. Okay.
Yeah, totally.
It's on Hulu.
It used to be on Hulu. Is it still there?
It says it's on Hulu, HBO Max, and BritBox.
Oh, it's on
HBO
Hulu?
Max.
Holy shit!
I looked. I couldn't find it. But
I know it's on HBO Max.
I'm pulling it up right now. I have.
We've watched 2 episodes of it, and it's wonderful.
Holy shit! If it's on HBO Max, I'm gonna watch it right now.
Yeah, it's right here.
show. Good night, everybody.
Yeah, it's got 5 seasons on HBO Max.
What?
I'm gonna fill my nights up with that. Yep.
No, don't watch the episodes. We want to watch.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm gonna watch them because I'm not on the show. I just jump in whenever I feel
I'll
like
watch
it.
him with Phoenix West at 720p through his little StreamYard window. Why
Yeah,
not?
what's going on with
thank
Phoenix's
you.
camera today, dude? What happened? Are you
I
at
know.
240p tonight?
Because I'm uploading a video.
Oh, so
He's trying to reenact that movie Unfriended.
who decides they're gonna upload a video during a live stream event?
I didn't. I started 7 or 8 hours ago.
What kind of a dumb idiot?
Yeah, this dumb idiot. I told you. I about it.
I missed Jansen.
I'm stuck.
I missed him. I did.
Oh, here we go.
This is
no
what the
reason
show
for it.
needs.
Yep.
Yeah,
More Jansen.
is that Norman Reedus?
Yeah, this is pre-Walking Dead Norman Reedus, back when he used to act for a living.
I wouldn't even go that far because he's not very
Oh,
good.
you
at
didn't
this
think he was
either.
that good? You didn't think he was
I
that
mean,
good?
I thought he was really
we've-
bad in this.
We've all seen Boondock Saints. There was no acting in there.
No.
That's true. You guys aren't fans of Blade 2, then, I take it.
Oh, I like Blade 2, but he's
I don't.
not good in it.
I thought he's good in it. He's so obnoxious, like you hate him and love him at the same time. But the
each
thing with Norman
season-
Reedus though is he always looks like he needs a shower. It's just always.
Each season's 6 episodes long for this
Yeah.
Inside Number 9.
Yeah.
But they have 5 seasons on here.
It's a great
It's,
show.
it's
That's
a
all of
great
it.
fucking
Every
show.
episode.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's no longer on.
It's no longer on.
I mean, it's no longer an active show. It's
No, it's still on. They just
Yeah.
it started in 2014, so they just
oh, I see what you're saying.
they're coming back this year. So
It's probably
Anyway.
between seasons. Yeah.
watch the second episode. It's called A Quiet Night In. Just watch it and by yourself, and don't have any expectations, and just watch it. I don't want to
that's
overpower it,
great.
but we all laughed hysterically because
The hell kind of-
you never know what the fuck's going to happen with it. But it was a lot of fun.
Okay, we'll see what happens. All right, I just want to jump in and just break your balls real quick. So,
I figured as much.
all right, I'll talk to you guys later.
I'm pulling quarantining, you fuck.
Hey, listen, dude, you want me to come and get Cena
I
sick?
said yes. You said I can't afford your diseases or whatever.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're poor, so it's fine.
Come on.
The disease and I'm the cure.
Oh no,
I don't know. I might change my mind, but it'll probably just be me, if anything. So I don't know.
fine.
We'll see what happens. I'll text you.
There's 3 championship fights. That's why we're.
Yeah, I know, and it's the first like live audience event, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I watched.
Anyway.
I watched the one last week. It was boring.
Yeah, it was super fucking boring.
So
UFC.
the best fights are always the chick fights these days.
Yeah, I get excited when I see the chick fights because
Ah, reminds me of high school.
All right, I'm out of here. Talk to you guys later.
Later, homie.
fuck up. All right, I wonder how long he was waiting in the wings to join.
You should have made him wait through the whole episode.
Talk about him.
Put him in the last 5 minutes.
We're talking
Talk shit about him.
20 minutes.
Put him in the
hey.
lobby and just keep talking crap about him.
Oh, right, you. Hi.
All right, so cigarette burns. Dick, you picked this, so go. It's your episode to talk about.
So Cigarette Burns was part of that anthology series called Masters of Horror that was on Showtime. I remember when it premiered because this is the only episode I ever watched live on Showtime when it came on originally. And I remember it was written by Drew McQueenie and his buddy, and they were like guys from Ain't It Cool News. Like these guys were nerds. They're film nerds who became writers, and I don't know if they did anything else after this. I'm pretty sure they probably didn't.
Here's a question. It's written by Drew McQueenie, like we said, and also Rebecca Swan as Scott Swan. Do we have a sex change going on there?
Oh shit! Really interesting. Who's Swan?
So it says Rebecca Swan as Scott Swan. So the credit was Scott.
Yeah, it's probably a transgender deal, yeah.
I gotta look that up.
That's usually what that is.
Yeah, I'm gonna look that up right now then, because that's interesting. Huh. I wonder who that was.
It's weird that, especially when you think about. Yeah, I'm looking right now. There's a sex change going on there.
Was it the big fat guy that was the buddy in the in the movie theater? That guy,
It is.
or was it the woman, the girl who killed herself?
No, it's okay.
I'm sorry.
There's too many fucking people. Okay, here we go. Let's see here. So here's Rebecca Swan. Here's Scott Swan.
Oh my god! It is the guy that was the fat guy in his.
Oh wow! Okay.
Ew.
That's weird.
That's not a very good transition right there.
We don't know how far along in the process
It is
that
what
was.
it is. Yeah.
Anyway,
No, that wasn't him.
I just caught that off guard. That's crazy. Yeah, I don't see a credit for him.
No, he's not on here.
Him or her. All him at that point. But anyway, continue. Sorry.
No, it's just it's one of those. It's got a 7.6 on IMDb, which I'm kind of shocked by that. When I saw it initially back in the day, I was like, that was fine. It wasn't anything special, but it was like, I was like, this is John Carpenter. This is pretty much his penultimate. This is his penultimate film. Like, this is the second to last movie he ever did, because he did The Ward after this, and he's done. Like, this is pretty much
The Ward is so phoned in too.
Yeah, and this one is just the last time Carpenter does it, and this is such an un-Carpenter-esque show or episode or whatever this is. This
It's a
show.
I call it a movie because it's an hour.
Yeah, it's an hour.
It's a miniature movie. Yeah.
It's John Carpenter's 8mm.
It really depends, because if this were just some regular asshole making a regular anthology show and it was an hour long, I wouldn't consider it a movie. But since it's John Carpenter, he's a film director.
Yeah.
I'm calling it a movie. I don't care.
I would agree with that. I would agree.
Calling it that.
Well, it's like a movella, like a novella. It's a movella.
You know what's kind of funny?
movie.
Yeah, exactly. You know what's kind of funny about this is the whole time I'm sitting there going, they are ripping off In the Mouth of Madness, and I'm like,
Yes.
oh, yeah, it's John Carpenter. Sorry.
It's very.
You know what else they were? You know what else I felt like they're ripping off of, especially when Udo Kier shows up, and I love that guy. I fucking love him, but he shows up and he starts talking. I'm like, did these guys watch Sprockets before they wrote this? Because I was getting Mike Myers' Sprocket skit from fucking SNL. I was getting that vibe off of his.
I have an angel in my outer room. I want to show you the angel with the cut off wings.
Dead angel in the other room. Sorry.
No, it's something. I don't know. I kind of have a soft spot for this episode. It's not very like the second time I watched it because I hadn't watched it in years, so I hadn't seen it in a while. I forgot about the girlfriend and the father characters, and I was like, "Ooh, they're like the weakest link in that chain." That whole story.
I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it.
No, it's different. It's not. I think Masters of Horror, the show, was never very good to begin with because you got what's his name, Mick Garris. That's it.
Mick Garris is a vastly fascinating person
Yes.
to interview. Like when he has a show on YouTube, an early show on YouTube. Can't remember what's called, Postmortem, and he just interviews horror directors.
Yeah,
like Wes Craven and Rob Zombie, and John Carpenter as well.
Yeah.
Really good show, but outside of Stephen King's The Stand, I don't really need to watch any Mick Garris movies.
Well, he's the greatest. He's the greatest Stephen King adapter next to Frank Darabont.
Yeah, he's number 2,
and that's not saying much.
Fucking Sleepwalkers or whatever.
Oh God, Mick Garris.
I think the thing that was weird though is when I was thinking cigarette burns. I mean, we were joking about just looking at John Carpenter's sofa in his living room for an hour, but I was thinking. I didn't realize they were talking about that thing that they do on old film where they put the little mark
right.
there to tell you to change the reels.
Yeah.
I forgot about that term until they brought that up again, and they kind of did it in a clever way. They had that guy that we were just talking about. He borrows the movies and he cuts those out and he collects them for some reason.
The guy,
yeah.
Matala walked into the room, my girlfriend, and as that scene came up with his coworker, and I was like, "Holy shit! It's the fat guy from Freddy vs. Jason."
Oh,
stupid stoner dude.
This Everclear is kicking my ass.
That guy.
Yes. Oh my God. I didn't even
like,
realize
shit,
that.
I can't believe I recognized him.
That's so sad. You did. Wow.
I've seen Freddy vs. Jason 15 times. I saw it in the theater.
It's great. It's fun. It's a fun movie. Yeah.
That's funny shit right there.
It's a movie that's better than it deserves to be.
Yes. It's who made that? Jason Wu? Ronnie
Wu. Yeah.
It's a surprisingly good movie. When I was watching, I'm like, I was waiting for it to suck, and it's like I'm into this. I don't care. I like every minute. Yeah.
It has a better backstory scene to Jason than any of the actual movies.
Yeah,
it's like it took all the good stuff from both sagas and just kind of spliced them all together and made one coherently fun movie. It's like,
I would never say it's a good movie, but it is a.
No, I like it. Yeah. I like it. One of the better ones.
It's a fun movie. Yeah, you can't say it's a good movie. You can only say it's a fun movie. Yeah, no, like you're right. Yeah, like I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah,
it embraces what it's trying to be.
Yeah.
And I kind of like that. It isn't.
Yeah, it's
self-aware. Yeah,
exactly. Especially when fucking Destiny's Child gets her nose cut off by Freddy's razor blade fingers
for a magazine.
Oh my God, that was so funny. I got your nose, bitch.
But this movie, I thought it was the start of a clever story. Like I was into this whole this story about a film that nobody can watch without just going into madness, like you said, in the mouth of madness. Yeah. I was buying that. I was into that. It falls apart for me in the third act. Completely falls apart. Because I was even, you said you didn't like Norman Reedus in this. I actually did. I thought his performance was pretty good. I didn't really think any of the performances were bad, to be honest with you. I liked the way it was shot, filmed. I like the fact that the actual cigarette burns were in what we're watching as part of the story as well. So every time you see the cigarette burn up in the corner, like somebody would have a flashback or see something weird, that was kind of cool. It was clever enough to keep me invested. I was never bored. But then in the third act, it's kind of like they just did the horror movie trope where it's like, well, let's just go for the gross out and embrace it, and committed to the gross out and just kind of threw the story in the garbage and gave up on it.
Pretty much, yeah. That's the third act.
That was the bummer. Yeah.
Yeah. Like there's a good setup and the payoff just isn't there.
Well, I think what bummed me out the most is I was really hoping, because the whole time you're wondering, does he really want the money or does he really just want to watch this movie?
Right.
And they never quite the director never tells you if that's what his motivation is. You're never 100% clear. He's bothered by his wife's demise. The fact that he basically killed her. Got her hooked on smack and she overdosed. Or no, she didn't overdose. She killed herself. Is what happened. So
consider risk the bathtub.
he's grief stricken, but does he really want the money or does he want to watch this film? And I was hoping that they would embrace that more. But in the third act, they never paid either one of those off. You don't really know. Like they never.
Well,
never
he
bothered doing it.
he basically Norman Reedus. What doesn't make any sense is the father shows up at Udo Kier's house.
Yes, that's
And
where it
that
starts
was
to become a
stupid.
bummer. It's
And
like
just
through most of the movie, he has no self-preservation in the third act. It's like,
Yeah.
The father shows up and just dumps his sad purse on the lawn. Just
Yeah.
like, I show up and I want to ruin your life. I have a gun and I just went and like, okay, sad man.
And then
that
Norman
ruins
Reedus
it for me,
kills him.
yeah.
Norman
Just
Reedus
absolutely
crushes
ruins
his
it for me.
skull. Yeah, it's
But
just
I did like the
God.
fact that Udo Kier decided to take his lower intestines and feed it through a fucking film projector.
Yeah.
I was like, this is great. This is stupid, but it's fucking great. I liked it. The guy gouging his eyes out, like,
Yeah.
you brought this on us. He's gouging his eyes out, like, this is great. And then the dad shows up and everything falls apart.
I laughed at that part.
Yeah. I did legit laugh at the guy gouging his eyes out. I shouldn't laugh at that, but for some reason that just came off to me as funny.
Well, it was funny.
And I was laughing at Udo Kier talking about movies because I'm like, is he doing Sprockets from SNL? Because I'm totally getting that vibe right now.
I had the chance to see the film at the Toronto Film Festival, but I saw what's a bad movie? I saw Fort Fairlane instead.
Oh, he was talking about he went and saw Dr. Phibes, which was
Yeah, 'cause he
cool.
wanted to
'cause
meet Vincent
I
Price.
fucking love Abominable's Dr. Phibes. I fucking love that movie. Love it. To
No,
death.
but it would have been better
I
if he
don't
picked
like
a bad
Vincent
movie.
Price. I don't get Vincent Price.
Oh,
It's
blasphemy.
because you got no whimsy.
The guy's
You're
born-
not whimsical. Realistically, I should not like Vincent Price because I'm the one that has no whimsy here. But
No,
I
it goes
love
back
Vincent
and
Price.
forth.
It's true. It's whatever needs to be said at the moment.
Yep, that's it.
No, I don't hate Vincent Price. I just watch him. I'm like, oh, he's terrible most of the time. He's awful.
I want somebody to
Blasphemy.
find a way to work Vincent Price, either Vincent Price and or Boris Karloff as a turn-by-turn navigation voice for like,
Ha!
you know what I mean? Like,
Turn here.
right, take the next left, hop ahead.
I love how much the early Simpsons made fun of Vincent Price.
Yeah.
Futurama did it too as well.
He's great. He's like the nicest guy in the world. He had the world's coolest voice for everything. Both those guys, Boris
Well,
Karloff
Pinky and the
and
Brain,
Vincent
they
Price.
based their voice off him. Maurice
Oh,
and
yeah.
Mark.
Wonderful.
But anyway, cigarette burns. But yeah, I agree. The third act is weak, but also kind of has the most interesting visual stuff.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
only the only time you really get anything visual because the other stuff is just kind of inferred by the character,
Right.
and it's all flashes. The whole premise is he wants to watch the movie. As soon as he hears the director's voice, he starts to call to him, and then he gets literal cigarette burns in his life, and he
Yeah.
kind of blanks out for moments at a time.
And
And
people
that's-
die usually, yeah.
Yeah. No, once he meets that fucked up weird foreign dude who's cuts a woman's head off and records it, like
The taxi
Why did he
driver's
show
head.
up in bondage gear? That's what
I
was giving
know.
me the fucking creep factor. He comes out and he's got the fucking 50 Shades of Grey hat on, all right, and he
because
like sits there and I'm like, is he going to start licking Norman Reedus?
Because
I'm
it's
like,
John Carpenter's 8mm.
yes, I was just gonna say John Carpenter watched 8mm. Only he didn't have the guy take off the mask and go, "What did you expect?" And that's what he had to do with the huge glasses.
the other thing I kept thinking about too is John Carpenter talking to Norman Reedus like off camera, like, you smoke a lot of cigarettes. You remind me of me when I was your age. Yeah.
You gonna
Keep
finish
smoking.
that carton? You gonna finish that carton, Norman? I'll take over.
You gonna finish? You got a cigarette, by the way?
Christ. This cigarette burn is gonna cost me my career, but fuck
All
it.
right. Cigarette burns. Take 2. Smoke them if you got them.
Goddamn Ghost of Mars fucked me.
8mm.
Ghost of Mars fucked me, so I gotta do a Mick Garris show. This is bullshit.
I gotta pay off my cigarette bill.
Fucking A.
He has he gets a literal bill in the mail from a cigarette company. I tell you by the pound, it's cheaper. The pallet.
I forgot about Norman Reedus used to have like this really bloated little kid face too. Like that kind of went away after a while too when he got older. But he used to have like this kind of looks like if you guys seen Haley Joel Osment lately, like his face just keeps getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah, it does. He's like a balloon.
He looks like a fucking orangutan in the face.
Yeah, he does.
Well, it's funny because him and Sean Patrick Flannery from Boondock Saints, they did the opposite because it starts off Norman Reedus had a chubby face. Now he's thin. Sean Patrick Flannery has just bloated the fuck up.
Yeah. Would you call that Coke bloat, or would that just be out of work bloat? Yeah,
out of work bloat, beer can bloat. Yeah,
I'm trying to get my goddamn Boondock Saints show off the ground. What's going on?
I'm working on my comeback, guys.
All I can get is the Saw movie.
I'll do Young Indiana Jones Chronicles again. I'll do that.
We'll do it. Yeah, Spielberg's going to call me any day now and have me as a cameo. That's going to be telling my comeback.
That's how we do it. It's going to happen. I'm going to be in Indiana Jones 5.
Is there a curse of Indiana Jones people who aren't Harrison Ford? Because both of them, one's dead.
Yeah, River Phoenix.
River Phoenix is dead, and then Sean Patrick Flannery is just like a bloated mess somewhere.
Well, I doubt that Karen Allen didn't do more stuff after Raiders of the Lost Ark because she was one of my favorite parts, and she's just kind of
Starman.
Exactly.
She's in Starman. Shit, that was after. Starman. Yeah, there you go. Problem
I felt
solved.
bad for her in that movie. Oh.
Starman in the sky.
Well, let's just say when we review that movie, I have a lot to say about it. Okay, a lot to say about that one.
Well, for cigarette burns, though, I would say the problem with this is I think it suffers from because what year did this come out? What's the release?
2005.
Oh my God! So December 16th, 2005 was the release date. Yeah. That is odd territory of just bad material. Just that was the era of bad material. It's just
a lot of lame horror. Yeah.
A lot of bad shit was going on in that
Everything
period of time.
was just like edgy for the sake of being edgy. Like there was a lot of that kind of horror coming out.
I'm going to look up Drew McQueenie here. What else has he done? And I bet you, oh my God, nothing. He did not do anything after this.
I looked him up. It's sad. But I like the parts of this movie that wasn't horror. I like the idea that there's a movie out there. He wants to find it. It's kind of fucking with you. It's a little bit horror. I like that. And then it starts just going off the rails once they start introducing the
right.
When they finally do show the movie at the end, I was upset. I was like, I was kind of.
They really let everybody down with that because it's like the half of the fun is the buildup of how fucked up this movie is, and when he's interviewing people. That was where this movie is the most fun. He interviews all these people, and everybody that's had anything to do with this movie has something really horrible happen in their life. Like the guy that's the movie critic that's been writing the same review for years ever since. His cabinet is just full of papers, and it's just all a review of this movie.
At least I can finish my review. It's the same fucking thing he's been writing for 30 years.
He's got stacks of paper everywhere, and he's like, all this is one review, and he's like, but it's almost done. I'm like, that's great shit. I love that shit.
Yeah. That's all fun. And then, unfortunately, he made the choice to show scenes from the movie, and it's just a guy or a woman standing against the wall, naked, screaming. And then it reminded me of an even worse video from The Ring. Like it was so fucking.
Yeah, that's where it would have been more clever had they never shown us any of what they saw.
Had they just shown the light flickering off.
The light flickering. Thank you. The light flicker in the face would have been enough. Yeah.
It's just like, what the fuck is that? And use your imagination, because your imagination, believe it or not, is way worse than whatever they can come up with.
Oh, absolutely.
There's literally nothing that they could have shown that would have replaced what's going through your mind. You're thinking of just the absolute worst, weirdest fucking thing you could think of.
It was the fingernail popping off, and I'm like, yeah, I've seen that. Yeah. I saw it in Stir of Echoes 25 fucking years ago, wherever.
Yeah.
And, like, back when Jennifer Morrison played the Down syndrome girl.
I've seen far older, more generic movies than the whatever the fuck it's called. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce it. That they showed in this movie. I've seen way older shit. That's Nosferatu is more scarier than anything they fucking showed in cigarette.
Even Nosferatu in Last Action Hero is scarier than this.
Yeah. Yeah, the Ingmar Bergman segment from Last Action Hero is scarier than this.
God damn, it's. What do you guys think about the ending? When oh no, fuck. Let me back up. What do you guys think about Udo Kier's obsession with it, leading into Udo Kier watching it, and the butler? What do you guys think about that transition?
Well,
The
when
second time you see Udo Kier.
the second time you see Udo Kier, he's putting his guts in the projector.
Yes, that's fucking hilarious. But I mean, like, he shows, but he finally Norman Reedus finally delivers the movie, and then he leaves, and then comes back to the house because it's a phone call. What do you guys think about the difference there and how effective that was?
I feel like if this episode, since it's a TV show, if this would have had about an extra half an hour to flesh out Udo Kier and the butler, or at least tell us why Udo Kier is obsessed with this fucking movie, just give him any kind of remote backstory, would have made that intestine in the film projector a little bit more effective.
He has two lines that explain that, and they're the exact same line where he goes, "I've done horrible shit in my life. I can't."
So
I'm gonna watch
tell
the
us
torpedo
tell us
before I
some
go
of
to
it,
hell.
any of it. Yeah,
Yes.
tell us just a little
Well,
bit of it. Yeah.
We did, because he has a fucking wingless angel tied up or chained up in the other room.
Yeah.
I don't like
And that was kind of cool. I actually kind of liked that because when we first see Udo Kier, we go into the room. He's got these giant wings on the wall behind the desk, and I thought it would have been great if they would have showed him sitting down and it looked like the wings were coming out of his back, but they didn't do that. And then he says, "Well, what?"
Guy?
Norman Reedus is like, "No, never seen him." Norman Reedus says, he obviously is the angel, but I've never seen him in anything else. But Norman Reedus says, what's with the wings? He says, "Oh, it's a prop from a movie." And then they take him into the next room, and here's this guy with like shit ripped off of his back. We saw that in one of the X-Men movies, I believe,
Oh, the wings.
with the thing with the wings. So that
Angels,
wasn't the most
yeah.
terrifying. But it's the fact that he has an angel, like, that he's had him in there for years, just standing in there, chained
He has
up
a
to the
line.
floor.
He has a line that actually caught my interest and I thought was interesting, because he goes, "How do you know the film exists?" He goes, "Because part of your soul gets attached to it, and I'm here." So apparently, if you destroy the film, he would just vanish, like he would
Yeah.
burn up as well. He's kind of like,
The
"So I
angel
know
is
it
part of
exists."
the film. Yeah, he's actually only exists. He's like got some kind of symbiotic relationship with the film itself. So
And I love when at the end
that was
when
fine.
he
Yeah.
the only survivor is this guy, and he grabs the film reels and he walks by and he goes, "Thank you."
Yeah.
Just keeps walking.
No, I think he was saying thank you that you shot yourself because we're sick of your acting.
Oh, okay.
That's what I got out of it.
He wasn't that bad.
I didn't
Yeah,
think
I
he was
don't
that bad
know.
either. I really didn't.
For some reason, it just rubbed me the wrong way.
I
don't
thought
know.
that he was trying to portray somebody that's kind of detached from, just has been through some shit, kind of has detached feelings, and I was getting that vibe off of him. I didn't feel like he was too apprehensive or anything like that. I just got mad when he just goes from that curious Norman Reedus to fuck it, I'll blow my brains out in like 0.6 seconds. That kind of pissed me off. It's not so much that he died, it's the way he went out in the context of why he went out that just irritated me.
Right, yeah.
The dad is obsessed with the daughter, and that's why he brings the gun, because he wants to kill this kid because he blames him for his daughter's death.
Yes.
And then the daughter crawls out of the screen covered in blood and like, "Daddy." She's
Yeah,
naked.
yeah.
"Daddy, I'm
That was
thirsty."
weird too. Like naked
I'm
girl in front
hungry,
of
I'm
her
gonna
dad.
eat you. Yeah,
She's covered
yeah.
in blood. She's standing in front of her dad. That was just a little too weird for me. What I thought would have been more clever is if when he delivered the film, like he was in the car and he drove like halfway down the road and then he just stopped and then turned around and just fucking ripped it away from Udo Kier and then just decided to watch it. And if he died that way, that would have been a more interesting ending than what we got. Like the curiosity got the better of him,
Yeah.
and he chose to watch the film rather than pay off his debts.
I was really hoping he didn't watch the movie because he realized how fucked up it is, and it kind of had a good ending for him.
Yeah, like he got
kinda
away
what
and everything else went fucked up. Yeah,
Yeah, because the whole previous 50 minutes is setting up, you don't want to watch this thing, and him realizing, oh, maybe I don't want to watch this. Everyone I've interviewed is fucked up. And so he realizes at some point he doesn't want to watch it. And then even though he has a line to that lady who actually has the film, "I just want to watch something beautiful, so beautiful." And she's like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
And then, so I was waiting for him to say, "No, I'm not going to look at the screen," and just walk out. But no, he He gives it to the dad. Dad realizes it's a fantasy. That his daughter's not there, and he goes, "You gotta stop keeping her alive." Me too. She won't rest until we're dead. I'm like, where the fuck did this come from?
Well, I think that was the issue. That's like third act rewrite, where it's like, we need to flush out these two characters. How do we end it? How do we end their storyline?
This is my problem with a lot of horror is what we saw in Cigarette Burns. It's like, you had me like 75% of this movie, I was into it, and then third act you got really lazy, ran out of time, and this is what you came up with, and you bummed me out. You made me angry. Yeah, you made it all fall apart at the end. You know,
it's the Blues
you broke your toys. Yeah,
just everything falls off. It's because he had a couple visions of the girl, and it felt more like it was a regret, not so much she's an unresting spirit.
Yeah.
So I just thought he had some regrets, and that's what he was seeing, and he's gonna satiate that by not watching the movie and learning how to move on with his life. That would have been a way more satisfying ending, but instead they had to do the ultimate horror ending where he beats the dad to death, stuffs the check in his mouth, and then blows his brains out.
Yeah. Spooky.
So dumb.
Yeah, it's not very good.
The problem is I gave it a 7 because I did enjoy everything up until that very end pretty well. I liked it. I was having fun. I was along for the ride, and then the ending just kind of...
Well, I like the mystery aspect, the angle of him looking for it, and you learn more and more about the movie and everybody involved in it, and how it's just a fucking awful thing that shouldn't be. And you're right. When you show the pieces of the movie, you shouldn't show the movies. Because there's no point. You can't do that.
I think the biggest disappointment in horror movies is when you start something great and then you don't pay it off, and that's what you give from this. I also gave it a 7 because up until that third act, I was really into it. Like, I was like, I'm actually digging this. I almost didn't want to like it. I was like, this is probably going to be terrible. And I'm like, no, you know what? I'm fucking into this. Like, they're committing to the gore here. The story's good. The music's good. The way the film shot is pretty good for early 2000s. This is not one of the worst things I've seen.
Yeah.
They didn't do the jump scare bullshit. I was into the story. Like I said, I was thinking, okay, so this is kind of like The Ring, only like way better. And then
I'm glad you brought that up.
Third act happens, and
falls apart. Yeah, I just want to say, because think about the two movies that came out that this movie's clearly inspired by, which is Hardcore and 8mm. That movie, both those movies would show a quick few seconds of the actual snuff film. And then it's mostly just the projector flashing off George C. Scott or Nick Cage's face going, oh.
That's what they should have done. They should have just shown like a partial of an image like reflecting off of somebody's face or something.
Absolutely.
If you listen to Fincher talking about Fight Club, he said he had a I forget which order it went in, but there's a scene where they beat the shit out. He beats the shit out of Angel Face out of Jared Leto's character.
Yeah.
It's not as brutal as the shot of just the characters going, oh.
Right, yeah.
Actually way more brutal.
Yeah.
Because it's your imagination. And I feel like John Carpenter is smart enough to know that because he has those previous movies to go off. But I also feel like The Ring kind of fucking threw a wrench into everything, and you have to just show the stupid, creepy video.
It almost feels like the producers came in and says, no, you have to show it. You got to show this, and we want to see. Or the producer's like, well, I want to see the movie. You have the audience for 45 minutes. I want to see part of the fucking movie. Obviously, you can't show us the whole fucking movie. Just show us part of the movie. I don't want to see any of the movie. I don't want to see the credits, nothing. No. I just want to see people look at the movie. I want this to be Marcellus Wallace's Briefcase as a movie. Don't ever fucking show it to us. Because the whole point is, it drives you mad. We're not supposed to see it.
It doesn't matter. Like, in Mouth of Madness, John Carpenter didn't read the whole fucking book to you from Sutter Kane. He didn't read the whole book. And you have no idea what the book's about. It doesn't matter.
And that's a way better movie than this one.
Yeah, all you need to know is the book drives people crazy. That's it.
Do you read Cigarette Burns?
I'm glad you brought up David Fincher, because I feel like if he would have attacked this movie and he had like a 90 minutes to play with, I think this could have been something. I really do. The story could have been fleshed out better.
Fincher wouldn't do a movie like this, a script like that.
No, but I mean, if somebody like him attacked this material, you could have made it better.
He made Girl with the Dragon.
It's almost like this is dying for a remake.
That was for money.
Girl with the Dragon Tattoo had anal raping.
Hey, what so?
So he's not above filth. That's all I'm saying. And then Even Gone Girl, she talks about sitting down on a wine bottle.
Well, granted, that is in the book, so
Alien 3 almost had a pretty brutal rape scene too. But
that's true.
Just saying,
Fincher was fighting for it.
Yep.
Fox did not.
Guy puts his goggles on and everything. He's ready to go to town. Yeah.
I'm actually amazed Fincher kept making movies because he fucking hated Fox everything about Alien 3.
Well, I think that the 7 script must have been so good. He was like, I gotta do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm glad he stuck with it.
Oh, absolutely.
He was my second favorite director on our list.
Yeah. Well, the reason I haven't given you my list, Phoenix, I forgot what I said.
Me too. I was going to post our list on our Twitter page, but I'm like, no, I'm going to listen back, so I'm not going to post it.
Yeah,
he didn't. Fincher didn't make my top 10 list because I only like some of his movies, not all of them.
I'd say I like most of them. I don't care for Benjamin Button, and that's probably the only one I don't really care for.
It's a little too whimsical for you, isn't it, there, Dick?
Oh, absolutely. No, that one's way too whimsical.
It's honestly kind of dumb.
Yeah, I don't like that one.
It's kind of dumb. But I also there's scenes in that movie. I only watched it once. It's the only one of those movies I watched once.
Yeah.
But there's scenes in that movie I'm like, this is a pretty good scene. Oh no, it's back to bad. It's like
I did work with the guy though. I did a couple of days on a movie or a show, and the guy that was there was the stand-in for Brad Pitt as an old man baby.
Oh really?
Like when he was an old man kid, he was the stand-in because he was like a short guy, but he had like the same build. So I was like, "Oh shit, you were Benjamin Button." He goes, "Yeah, I was," and it's hilarious. He's a fucking SAG extra. And stand-in, basically, and that's his.
So when Ryan Johnson calls people man babies, is this what he's talking about? He's talking about the dude from Benjamin Button.
Absolutely, that's what he's talking about.
That makes more sense now. Yeah.
Man, physical, literal man baby.
Man babies.
Hi. Touch me.
So, I really did enjoy the scenes where he's interviewing people, which is a weird thing to say, but because they would.
Well, that was almost like the whole Sutter Kane thing. You know what I mean? Like he's talking to people and getting little bits and pieces of the story, and it's building up the mystery, like the suspense for me. You know?
They would say things that make you use your imagination, which I appreciate as a film watcher. It's like, remember, they would say like it taps into your darkest.
Right.
Like the just the imagery of the words he would use, even though it was like scumbag saying it, I would still go, that sounds great. Like, what the fuck is this movie? I don't want to watch it. But
I'm okay with the gore, but I also feel like the gore kind of sleazes this up a little bit more than it needs.
This should have been just a visual story of the character realizing he doesn't want to go down this dark alleyway, and that's it. And that's as simple as it needed to be. You can have creepy subject matter like Udo Kier taking his guts out. That still works because the character needs to go, I tried to help you, man. I'm the fuck out of here.
Yeah. I was into that because I would like you. I was kind of rooting for Norman Reedus. I'm like, you know what? I just want to see one good thing happen to this guy. And ultimately, the show's like, nah, fuck him too. I'm like, oh well, then fuck you then. You know?
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Get the fuck out of here.
I hope you do 25 boring seasons of The Walking Dead. Damn it.
You wish came true.
Yeah.
God damn, that show sucks so bad.
I do feel like there was a time where Norman Reedus was trying, and then Walking Dead happened, and he just kind of quit.
Well, when he became a piss and shit janitor at Negan's factory, and he just that's all he did. That's when I was like, "Fuck this show."
I didn't even watch that.
That's about where I fell off. After everybody got, demoralized or whatever the fuck you want to call it, and turned into Negan's fucking flunkies. I'm like, you know what? This show's not fun anymore. It's just dumb.
It was never fun, though. It was never funny.
No, it actually fell apart after Darabont left, because I liked it when they had a common goal in mind. And then once they decided that was just all bullshit, I'm like, well, so you really don't have any direction for this. You're just going to keep going to odd into nothing. Well, then I'm done. You know how we're always talking about you have to have structure, you have to have rules. They took all those and threw them out the fucking window. I'm like, well, then you threw your fans out the window too, because I'm out of here.
And they stay on that fucking farmhouse for the whole season. It's like, oh God, stop.
There's a guy on YouTube, you guys.
Yeah.
You guys should watch this guy called The Critical Drinker.
Well,
He's
I've
right up your alley.
seen him. I've seen him. Yeah.
He did a video recently called "Why Canon Matters," and canon, if you're not familiar with the term, is an established universe that something that belongs to a particular group of stories or movies or something like that. An established universe. When you take away the establishment and the structure, you create different groups of fans that clash, and you no longer share that common interest. And a lot of people that held on to that structure because that was something that always made sense to them. When you take that away from them, they're no longer interested and they give up on it. They get bored with it because it doesn't have any structure to it.
Right.
Like you have to have rules that you adhere to. That's kind of why I like the Nightmare on Elm Street movies better than the Jason movies, because the Nightmare on Elm Street movies seem to have more of a coherent story going throughout the whole thing, whereas Jason movies literally do the same thing every single movie and don't advance the story any farther. Where I feel like Freddy, they at least have some semblance of tying it together. And then you got Halloween, which is the fuck all over the place. You know what I mean? So
All the fuck over the place. You just described
is what it is. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I just gave Jansen a From Dusk Till Dawn quote because we're talking about UFC. He's like, "What time does it start?" And I told him, and he goes, "All right, I'll do my best." I go, "Your best better get a hell of a lot fucking better."
Yeah.
I love that movie. He's like, "Well, okay."
Sex Machine.
It's Tom Savini.
Yeah, a great Tom Savini.
Yeah, my computer's name is Sex Machine, by the way. I named it after Tom Savini.
Mine is named Skynet.
Nice. So, I really did enjoy this movie. I wish, like I said, I mean, how many times did we say that? I wish they would have stuck a little more grounded in non-horror, but I get why they did what they did.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Masters of Horror.
I don't feel like they followed through enough for me, and that's that missing half hour we're talking about with the wingless angel dude. I wish there was more explaining that sort of stuff.
Well, maybe this needed to be a movie, not a 1 hour anthology
I agree.
show.
I'm okay with a certain degree of ambiguity, but
Yeah.
there are things that needed to be explained. That's my problem with a lot of horrors. I think a lot of horror just kind of drifts into weird for the sake of being weird because weird is somehow scary, and that doesn't work for me.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. Yeah,
but it does work with Mouth of Madness.
Or The Shining. The Shining is another example where you can be weird and get away with it because, the fact that they're in a hotel and he's ascending to madness anyway makes sense within the confines of the story, So this doesn't really establish that.
The Shining does separate the horror from the weird. Like when he goes in the hotel room and sees that guy blowing the other guy, it's not horror. It's weird, and then it moves on.
Yep.
Yeah, that's not horror. That's just normal everyday behavior in England.
It's sexy.
That's Tuesday. Tuesday in England. That's what that is.
Yeah, great party, isn't it?
And then the hot melting old lady from the bathtub. Oh man,
she was so hot she melted.
You know how in the first episode of Anthology show I admitted to jerking off to Schindler's List?
Yeah.
Can't stop thinking about it.
Yep.
Let me ask you this. Did you jerk off to both versions of the same lady?
I would be jerking off to the hot one, and then the old lady would come on screen. I go, you can only hit the rewind button so fast. So I did, but it wasn't the goal. But I didn't want
and many remotes were ruined from that day forth.
But it was like, rewind. And it was like VHS days, So, Yeah. This is before you can just look up images or look up porn. So that's my excuse.
Yeah. The good old days.
I have no excuse for. That was just filthy all the way through.
You had Skinamax, and you'd hurry up and throw the tape in so that you can tape Manuel, and then hopefully you could go back and pause your favorite scenes later when nobody's watching.
Yeah. I remember one time I was on the couch in the living room, and my mom came out at like 3 a.m, and I was watching. It was like one of Skinamax movies, but it was like an older lady, like in her mid 40s.
They used to do that back.
And
everybody got naked for no reason.
And then she's sitting there naked, and I like crossed my leg. I wasn't jerking off. I was just watching it. And I crossed my leg over my other one, and I put like this, and I was like I was watching a nature documentary. Like,
yeah.
Interesting. my mom goes, "What are you watching?" I'm like, "Oh, this just came on."
It's a
bathroom.
film. Yeah.
She walked to the bathroom, came back out. And by the time she came back out, it was probably like Die Hard 3. And I was like, "What?" And I just watched it. I was like, "Did I really?" In my head, I'm like, "She knows what I'm doing. She's Midwestern. She's gonna quietly ignore this and just hopefully forget about it."
Yeah, exactly.
So Midwest people do not acknowledge things that are happening in front of them. We just
we would just I would just get the go to bed.
Yeah. And I love that because I go to my friend's house and then his dad wasn't around, so it was just his mom, and she's super Catholic. But we were watching movies downstairs, and we'd be like, "This is so cool." We're watching like hardcore porn, and his mom got a cable running from the TV in the living room upstairs to her bedroom.
Oh no!
And watch what we're watching.
No,
it was like every couple hours. Go, what the fuck are you watching?
Oh no!
Oh no! Wow, that's fucking rough, man. Whew.
And it didn't stop us because we'd be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, let's go to bed."
That's hilarious.
I thought it was bad when I think my mom walked in on one. It was on. And it was one of those Emmanuel movies, and one of the ladies like taking a pool cue and like shoving it up her snatch and popping it back out again. That's the one that she walked in on.
It's a good trick. Can you do that, Ma? That's how you break that. That's how you break the ice on that.
God,
I'm just amazed by the trick.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not getting off on this. I'm just amazed that this is made. This is a thing. It's on television. I'm amazed.
Yeah, what are you talking about? That's talent. Yeah, you know.
Shit, this is better than ESPN Ocho.
Yeah, this is the Bangkok Olympics. You know, you don't understand.
Goddamn right. Oh well, I would say, yeah, call it a night with this one.
Like you said, we didn't have the internet, yeah. So I don't hate you for this choice. Like I said, I liked most of it. You know, we've said that on.
If you want to leave, you go ahead and you fucking leave.
Well, I'm just. I feel like Norman Reedus. I need to go blow my brains out right now, and then awkwardly end this podcast. You gotta let her go. Let it go. I'm gonna beat your head into the cement, you fucking bastard.
Such a bullshit ending.
Here's your check, dickhead.
You lost 3 points for that ending.
I want to watch that speech that dad gives outside of.
He's terrible. He's so bad. He's a bad
really
actor. Bad. I would say the two worst actors are the dead girlfriend and the dad. They bring the material down, quite a bit.
Especially the dad, because I never bought that dad is the dad of my daughter who you got hooked on heroin and she killed herself.
I feel like he was supposed to be played by the guy that was the bad guy in RoboCop, where the guy that gets his hair pulled out of the club, and he was in Twin Peaks. That guy that plays his father.
He comes off as more like the Spider-Man rent is due guy from Spider-Man 2. Like I got more of that vibe off of him.
Well, that's too new. That's too.
No, Spider-Man 2 is 2000.
2004, yeah.
2004. This is 2005, so only a year before.
So he could have had it. He could have had it.
Lame.
Can't wait for that Marvel masterpiece coming out when they're going to bring all the Spider-Man movies in one movie.
And I don't give a shit about Norman Reedus either because he gets all of the money in the world to do absolutely nothing for seasons on end of a TV show. The most boring character that never had 2 shits worth of a moment on that fucking show.
Well, it's the chick factor. Chicks don't care about story.
That's why I don't like it. I think it's bullshit that's okay and something else is not okay.
Yeah. It's just look at what chicks like, what they get excited for. Robert Pattinson in Twilight. Awful storyline, terrible, every which way but terrible. Norman Reedus from Walking Dead, he's a sex symbol. Most boring character on television and in like modern horror. He's boring. There's nothing about him that's interesting.
I don't think he's attractive. He's a weird looking dude.
Aquaman, the other one, the Jason Momoa. Yeah. Like he's the big sex symbol.
They also like Luke Evans, even though Luke Evans doesn't like women. So
Luke Evans.
Luke Evans, Luke Evans from Dracula. What was it? Dracula Untold. That guy.
No, look good. I didn't. Is he gay? I didn't know that.
He's gay. Yeah, I'll tell you what though, he is a good-looking guy. If I was going to jump on the other side of the fence, that'd be the guy. Yeah,
I want him to defeat my Smog.
Smaug.
Smaug. I got a Smaug for you in my pants.
Smaug.
Yeah, Smaug. Fuck that movie. That was I've never wanted to leave a theater worse than the last 25 minutes of.
I'm trying to figure out what drugs got you into that theater in the first place, because there's no way in my right mind.
Sadly, I did like the first Hobbit movie. I kind of like that one the most, and everybody shits on it. I actually kind of like this one the best because it sets everything up. But then the next problem is there's 2 more movies. I'm just like, why? You don't need 2 more movies for this. It's done.
I've seen those movies all once, and that was enough.
Yeah, there it is.
There's the best part of the movie right here.
I have to put it in the film.
This belongs on one of those like horror top 10 kill lists.
Okay.
What's going on here? What filthy fucking thing?
He is a terrible.
Does he have a hair lip too?
Lately, I've been spending a lot of time doing things I never would have expected.
Look at it. His top of his lip looks like silly putty.
For days at a time with a loaded gun, or letting my business go to hell while I figure out ways to ruin your life.
He's awful.
He's terrible. Yeah.
What is that accent? Is it like Hungarian?
Well, it's obviously it's Canadian because they shot this in Alberta, Canada. But the problem with that character is it's like, well, Norman Reedus lost his love of his life, so it's like, what, you guys both lost something, so it's like, it's not like the same thing there.
It's different because the dad blames Norman Reedus for getting her hooked.
Yeah, but she committed suicide by cutting her wrists.
Yeah, but he blames him for letting her go down that path that led to her death.
Sure,
I'm pretty sure because they did show Norman Reedus putting the needle into her. So
yes,
they established that he got her hooked on the shit.
Right.
So Norman Reedus is a bad person, but that's the whole point of the movie. Is I at least for me, I thought, does this guy have a redemption, or does curiosity get the better of him?
But if
that's
the
angle I was going for.
Me
but
too.
if that's the case, then go all the way with it. Have her die of an overdose. Don't have her kill herself with a razor blade in a bathtub. It's just stupid. It doesn't make any sense.
Here's I can't believe I'm suggesting this. Get rid of the backstory. I usually pitch for more backstory that I care more about the character, but in this particular instance, the backstory drags it down.
Yeah,
none of it matters. When it pays off, you don't feel like it paid off. It just I'm gonna blow my brains out now. Okay,
it's the fact that they're set up with no payoff is the part that brings the whole thing down for us. Yeah,
just get rid of that. Just focus more on him trying to find the movie and being. You can come up with something else. Even if they had that and didn't pay it off with the dad watching the movie and her coming out of it, that would have been fine.
Well, because it's got the Zodiac effect. It's about the obsession. The obsession to see this movie. And the whole point of Norman Reedus' character should have been he doesn't watch the movie. Yes. He's the one. It's the one thing he at the end of the movie, he's like, you know what?
The one thing in his life that he didn't fuck up is he doesn't watch the movie. And that is his redemption. That would have been nice.
Yeah, all 3 of us would rather watch that. And I feel like that must have been part of the pitch for this episode, but they went, no, we need horror.
I don't think that came up at all. It was like, hey man, she killed herself in the bathtub because she gets naked. We see a naked chick, and she cuts herself. It's cool. And then Norman is sad.
If a naked chick covered in red Caro syrup is your kink, then you got bigger problems than anybody in this fucking movie.
It's called 90% of the horror fandom.
You're probably right.
They're all fucking weird. Yeah. I've seen these people in person. They're not normal.
Gooey naked girl. Did.
What's your favorite movie? Hellraiser 2. Oh my god. You're fucked up. Like, I like Hellraiser 2, but not as my favorite movie. Like all
I was gonna say I don't like it because it turns me on. I just think it's a cool movie.
I suggest amputation. Hellraiser 2, classic.
It's fun. It's a fun movie.
It's a fun movie.
This one not so much. Them. 7 out of 10. Not terrible. Yeah. Didn't hate it. Didn't love it. Definitely bottom tier Carpenter stuff though.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, here's the problem.
I'll never watch this again.
The first 42 minutes of this, top tier Carpenter.
Yeah,
because I was really invested. The last 12 minutes of it, bottom tier. So
Yeah.
it ends up being middle tier.
But I blame that more on the script than Carpenter.
I
Well,
would buy
I would
this
say,
only for completionist sake, only because I
Yeah.
want to collect all the Carpenter stuff. But
Yeah.
would I watch it again? Probably not.
I think the
You actually
problem
own
is
this?
no.
You
If you buy this, I think it's on a double disc.
No,
like-
actually, I read they do have this on a set for the whole Masters of Horror series.
Yeah,
This was the first one they released, and I read that they did release this by itself on a Blu-ray. So
Oh,
I know
yeah.
it's out there
That-
somewhere. Yeah,
This is the highest rated episode of Masters of Horror.
That's how bad.
that's
Masters of Horror
that's not a
is.
good sign. Do you
No.
have more of us to choose from? We have to.
Because it goes, this is the top with 7.6, and then it goes on to 7.2.
What's the next one?
And it's probably just because Carpenter's name was attached to it.
Family by John Landis.
Oh, that's the written by
Start-
Max
George
Landis.
George went, and then it's just a horrible show.
No, yeah,
And Udo
it's
Kier
terrible.
and John Carpenter and Norman.
I mean, they had
Reedus.
some good Joe Dante did one, and then Dario Argento did two. Joe Dante did two as well. Toby
Yeah, but
Hooper-
we know that Joe Dante is not a good director.
Ooh, Dario Argento. Everything he touches gold. Yeah.
John Landis did two. Stuart Gordon did two. I want to see those.
That would be probably about.
Hoffman did two. Ernest K. Dickerson, who's interesting, did one. Larry Cohen did one. Brett Anderson did one. Speaking of pianist.
Although John Landis did one of my favorite horror movies ever, and also my favorite music video ever made.
Yeah.
Thriller. Yeah,
Fucking
Kashi Mike
great ass
did
movie.
one.
Great ass video.
Peter Medak did one. William Malone did one. Lucky McKee did one. Lucky McKee is an interesting person. I find that
Yeah.
guy fascinating to watch.
he hasn't done much lately, though. I think Mike Flanagan kind of stole his thunder.
Yeah. Well, some of his movies are terrible, but The Woman is interesting, but it's not good. You ever see The Woman?
I've seen pieces of it.
Yeah, it's. I'm watching. I'm like, this is interesting because it's basically the dad finds a woman in the woods who's like a feral woman and just chains her up in the barn, and like the kids have to feed her.
Yeah,
I mean, eventually they free her and she just kills them. It's fucking weird,
yeah.
but it's not great. It's not good. I
No,
don't know, but anyway, yeah. So that's Cigarette Burns. Decent. Could have been a lot better. Could have been some things in there that we all enjoyed. Just some couple script changes we would have elevated a star or two.
If we
I
did
think-
our own cut of this and made some minor tweaks on that third act, it would be great.
Yeah,
I think that says everything you need to know about Master of Horrors, the series.
this is my first
Sounds
time
like
watching it. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
that,
this
well,
is our
that
first
it's,
episode.
you're not far
this
off.
looks awful. This looks awful. What the fuck is this?
Oof.
Clowns are not
Oof.
scary, no matter how you do it.
Yeah, enough with the clown shit. Seriously.
Well, that was years ago, so they were just starting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
ever since it came out, clowns have just descended into demonic evil things.
Don't give a shit about clowns.
No, I
I grew
blame
up
the
with the
internet.
Bozo show. I was not scared of clowns
Yeah.
as a kid. Not
That
at
was
all.
the-
Not whatsoever.
The internet and spaghetti, what's it called? The scary
Creepypasta.
Creepypasta is what ruined clowns because everybody.
Yeah,
did those
because if you
fucking
do
videos.
look at old pictures of like old clowns from like the 30s and 20s and shit, they do look kind of creepy, and I think they just kind of ran with that. So
I do want to mention how terrible this drawing of John Carpenter is.
yeah.
yeah, it's
You know what it
pretty
looks like? It looks like a bad John Carpenter tattoo. Like somebody went to a really cheap tattoo parlor and said, "I want John Carpenter on my shoulder."
bad. Do you
That's
think
what
it's
you get.
that's a John Carpenter painting made out of his cigarette ashes?
It's a bad tattoo on somebody's butt.
Give me
John
that.
Carpenter was at a diner all night, and then he was acting his cigarettes, and he just did he did a self mural.
I just did a
He did-
self-portrait of myself.
He did a rub with cigarette ash onto a napkin.
I just watched Halloween, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. I need to do something artistic to get this shit out of my mouth. God damn it.
Oh man.
Oh,
So
well.
next week, okay, I need to go into a couple things here. Let me get back on camera. Hopefully, it doesn't glitch as much. That's why my camera's been off.
Glitch.
Is it still? Oh man, sorry.
Whatever.
You're still in glitch mode.
Nothing I can do.
Jansen was
started
right.
at
Why
a-
the fuck do you upload during a podcast?
I started at noon,
Ooh.
dude. It's 9:13 here my time. I didn't expect.
You gotta stop filming porn in 4K and uploading it with that shitter net that you got there.
Hey, you're in the fucking episode I'm uploading, so shut the fuck up.
Oh,
Anyway,
no.
all right, so do what you can. I don't give a shit. It's a podcast first. The podcast is not gonna be delayed at all. That's all I care about. But so this is Cigarette Burns episode 15. Next week I chose Vampires from 1998,
Yay!
starring James Woods.
Love it. Love it.
So that's gonna be next week. That'll be on April 28th. The week after that is when we start to kind of alternate the shows. So we're going to do Carpenter, Frankenheimer, Nick Cage.
Oh my God.
But luckily we're getting away easy next week or the week after that because our first Frankenheimer episode we're going to do is Andersonville, which is awesome.
It's a good movie.
Question: will we be doing 7 Days in May again as a
No.
Frankenheimer episode? Okay,
Cool.
cool.
Yeah.
It was a good movie. Yeah.
I already got rid of it and I already posted it as the first episode because we already talked about it. I also got rid of the
cool.
script episode because we already taled about that. So those are the
Okay.
first 2 episodes of the John Frankenheimer show. So
Hey, all
gotcha.
right.
and
We're
then,
ahead of the game.
yeah, exactly.
No
And then-
retreads.
Exactly. May 19th is our first Nick Cage on this show.
Oh,
and
God.
we're doing Season of the Witch from 2011.
Oh my God.
As you see, I have more bingo hopper than ever.
Oh, his whole career is a bingo hopper. His whole career is a bingo hopper, dude.
I like to pick my films in a bingo hopper.
He
Season of
won
the Witch
one
is a
once.
great movie.
Oh,
Did
my
you
God.
watch his fucking Five Nights at Freddy's fucking movie that he did? The fuck's that shit called?
Willy's
The
Wonderland.
newest one.
So
Yeah, that's it.
Andersonville.
Wonderland.
Good Civil War movie. And then Season of the Witch.
Oh, ouch.
I've seen both several times.
I'm scared. I'm scared.
And then after that, we're going back to this show. And then it'll be Adam's pick. So the only ones we're going to pick on our own are Jock Carpenter movies. Those are the ones we're going to actually pick. The rest is bingo hopper.
Okay.
Keep it interesting. And since you guys don't know Frankenheimer movies, I'll let the bingo hopper do it.
Okay.
And that's what we're going to be doing. So, LIWstudios.com for me, LIW Anthology Pod, LIW The TZ Review, LIW Studios, Phoenix West on Twitter, all those. Check them out. Adam?
RaidersLostFlix.com for me. Look me up on Twitter. It's Raiders_OTLF. Talk to me about bad movies. I'll tell you about a few myself.
The Loading in Wonderland Twilight Zone anthology series, Tuesday nights, right here.
I hate you so much.
I'm gonna get some other shows going. I don't know.
You combine 2 shows together.
Yeah, it's easier
LIW
that way.
Twilight Zone Anthology Series.
Oh, I thought the same thing. Never mind.
LIW The Twilight Zone Review. It's really easy to remember. It's
That's
just
it.
LIW,
That's
the
it.
name of the
yeah.
show and then the word review.
You're
That's
right.
it.
Join the Lord of Wonderland Patreon, and you can watch a full video of Dick rubbing carrot cake on his tits.
Yeah, that's $49.95. Gold membership.
OnlyFans, LIW Studios. Oh
Yeah.
my God, should I do that? Should I do that? Why shouldn't I do that?
Just as long as there's Dick on there rubbing carrot cake on his
And
tits.
it's just
That's all
like
I want.
Are you?
rubbing hairy nipples,
You
Oh,
want
it
to see it?
rubbing
I'd
various
fuck me
cakes
real
on yourself
hard.
and licking it off.
I'll just quote Casino all night long.
If you want to watch me tucking myself,
Okay, there. Take care. Drive safe now. Okay, have a good time.
You look like Lionel Barrymore with your fucking bathrobe and
I'm the boss. That sounds pretty fucking bad. They took that out of context. Oh yeah, that sounds fucking bad.
anyway, anything to plug, guys?
No.
No, we kind of did that.
Yeah.
We just said our plug. Okay, we did that.
I don't have any active shows right now, so absolutely
Uh-oh. I lost you guys. The podcast is lost without you.
Oh my god.
Can't hear anything.
I can hear. I believe in you.
Oh, hey,
no. I can see clearly now. Phoenix is gone.
I hear you. I see you. I hear you.
Hear that? Well, thank God this wasn't a 4-hour long podcast. Holy shit.
Right?
It wasn't They Live.
No, this is just 3 hours. We'll keep it short. But I do want to thank you, Dick, for choosing this because someone needed to go outside of just the regular movies. And
Yeah, well, like I said, I saw this when it first came out. It always stuck with me, and I always thought like the beginning was cool. It was a neat idea, and then just bad ending. You're just like, whatever.
It is a neat idea. I enjoyed most of it.
If it had the ending we wanted, I'd give it a 9.
Yeah.
I'd really enjoy it. It'd be solid. But we got what we got.
Yeah.
Anyway, until next time, in the meantime, I'm Phoenix West.
Adam Wilcox.
Tick out.
So long, citizens. So long, John Carter.
I'm over here.
Bye.
Live with James Woods for Vampires.
Oh, can't wait. I'm excited.
He's going to shout about politics and tell us all.
I never get tired of James Woods.
He's a genius. He is a genius.
He's fucking wonderful in Casino as well.
Get chicken shit, cocksucker!
This is how the podcast
Shut up,
ends.
kid.
This is how the podcast ends, by the way.
Cocksucker!
All right. You all right? Carrot cake? Or...
No, I'm sorry. I was under the weather for the last couple of days, so I couldn't do Adam's show on Friday.
He was under the carrot cake.
Yeah, I was not feeling good the last couple of days.
That's okay, dude. You know what? Missing the last show last week was like missing the last day of class on the last day. It's like missing. It's like senior ditch day. It's no big deal, dude.
I figured
it's the room. You've fucking
yeah.
seen it. You haven't missed anything. You know.
Yeah.
It was Pete's birthday, and I put the show on hiatus anyway. So
I was.
We probably
was it.
It was fun. We had a pretty decent turnout. Nobody's really watched it since then, though. I mean, everybody watched it like the first night, and that's pretty much the end of it. But we had fun. Pete did the green screen. I did the green screen. I dressed up like Tommy Wiseau. He dressed up like somebody straight out of fucking Run DMC, and we threw the football back and forth. We did that little gag.
Oh, that's
he has
good.
a football.
Okay.
He has a football. I have a football, and we pretend like we're throwing it to each other.
That's pretty good.
We both had the room rooftop behind us, so if you ever watched like just the first couple of minutes of that podcast, you'll see us doing that. I had the wig on the whole time. So.
That's pretty good. That's funny.
I hate that wig though, because it's like the cheapest fucking piece of shit I could get off of Amazon. It was like $350. And the fucking hair always gets in my fucking mouth, like just like as the show goes, it's like the hair just kind of gradually keeps moving its way to the front of my face. I hate it. But other than that, it was a good time.
Ugh.
Other than that,
it was good. Yeah.
Did Tommy Wiseau stop by to say hi?
No, and I also made fun of the Blu-ray for about a half an hour too, because I'm like, this fucking thing is not multi-format, Amazon. And I wrote a review to publish to complain about the multi-format. They wouldn't publish it. So. But what's funny about that is after they denied my publishing, they went back and changed it to say Blu-ray instead of multi-format. I'm like, you false sold me, you assholes.
Well, that's grounds for a lawsuit.
I mean, I'm going to keep it because that movie comes up so often anyway that I probably should have a copy of it. But it's just the fact that I expected there to be a DVD or at least a digital copy inside of it. Because that's what multi-format is. It means you have multiple versions of the movie. I think what they consider multiple versions is, remember how his ass shot it on film and shot it on digital? They've got both versions on the same disc. So that's multi-format somehow.
Yeah,
what the fuck ever. I want to see the movie from a different angle. Fuck you, Tommy Wiseau.
Shit.
I got an ad for his underwear that came inside of it.
Fantastic.
Tommy Wiseau underwear.
Put it on. Underwear. You wear it.
Underwear that actually says Tommy Wiseau like on the fucking waistband.
Wow.
Nah, I'm not that big of a fan.
Put it on. It's
now, if it was Samurai Cop, that'd be a different story. Or especially Miami Connection. I would legit buy fucking loot from that fucking movie.
Ha! Put them in a frame.
I love Miami Connection. That movie is so fucking stupid. It's beautiful.
Oh yeah.
We're still live.
Oh. And.